The JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB here on a Thursday, and not just any Thursday. We have here the first of the two Final Four matchups here in the college football playoffs here, and we're talking Ole Miss versus Miami. Who is going to secure their spot to the national championship game tonight? We are going to find out that question here on the field here. And let's see, Mr. JB gets us started here, and he says, "Hi everybody, let's go Miami." So Mr. JB rooting for the Hurricanes here, but you guys let JB know, where do you stand tonight in this one? Are you standing with Ole Miss? Or are you standing with the Miami Hurricanes here? But either way, this is going to ignite one of these two fan bases. If you're Ole Miss, you think about the journey here. You started off the college football playoffs there. You lost your head coach there. He basically decided he wanted to just make a, I can't even say lateral move there. Choose a team that's not even in the college football playoffs there, but that's fine. You moved on there. You're fighting every week to keep the staff. And yet they find themselves here just one game away from the championship game. Meanwhile, if you're Miami, you've been counted out. Many people doubted that you were even going to make it to the college football playoffs, but yet here you go, just one game away from the national championship game here. And it's been a minute for Hurricane fans. They want to get back badly. They feel like they've been long overdue to get back to the national stage. And so this one right here is going to be a game. It's going to be a game for sure. And again, kickoff will take place anytime soon. But man, what a game this one's going to be here. Miami versus Ole Miss. And you just think about the coaches in this one, because coaching is going to definitely play a role here for Ole Miss. Can they find some type of way here to? I feel like they got to run some tempo in this one. You've got to find a way to obviously give your quarterback some time in this one, because Miami does an excellent job getting after the quarterback there consistently and winning the battle at the line of scrimmage. They've got the speed, they get after it there. So can Ole Miss find a way to negate some of that? That's going to be critical for them, especially when it comes to them being able to make plays. They're going to have to give their quarterback time to make those plays. Meanwhile, for Miami, hey, defensively is where it starts. Keep playing great defense there. That's been a formula so far to get them this far, and use that speed. But again, we just count down here to the start of this matchup and this one to figure out if, because we already know at least one of the teams that's going to make it to the national championship this year is going to be a Big Ten representative, whether it's Indiana, whether it's Oregon, one of those two teams they'll play tomorrow. But to determine, will we have someone from the ACC make it to the title game this year, or will we have a representative from the SEC? We're going to find that out here on the field shortly. But what a game we've got in store for this one. Again, on the year, Ole Miss 13-1, and they did beat the team that gave them that loss in the regular season. Meanwhile, for the Miami Hurricanes, 12-2 throughout the year, but they've been on a nice steady streak, also playing much better football than they were towards the middle of the season. And it seems like, according to the matchup predictor, 57% believe that the Hurricanes are going to win this matchup there. So more people, it seems like they're picking the Hurricanes to win this one. But all I can say is that last week, nobody really gave Ole Miss too much of a chance, and they came through. So we're going to see how that plays out today. And again, soon we will be starting with the kickoff shortly. But you guys let me know in the chat who will win this matchup here. Will it be Ole Miss or will it be Miami? And again, this is the Fiesta Bowl matchup here in the college football playoffs. Again, all that's on the line is a trip to the national championship game. Laney, what's good? What's good? How are you? And Laney says, hey, JB, what's up? And so just looking forward to seeing how this one's going to play out here. Like for both of these teams, this is obviously a critical moment here because I feel like if you're Ole Miss, you're like, we've got to win it now. We're in the Final Four now. This has to be the year. Meanwhile, if you're Miami, it's been so long, it's overdue, you feel like, if you're the Hurricanes. And so you're just one away from getting back to the national stage here. So I'm excited for this matchup. I am to see who is going to get to the title game. And again, tomorrow we'll get to see Oregon versus Indiana to see who they'll be matched up against. But again, this one right here, Hurricanes versus Ole Miss, excited to see how it's going to play out. RC in the building. What's good? RC says JB. J Mofo B. Well, let's go. Let's go is right. Yes. How are you today, RC? How is everything in the world of RC? All right, just looking at the teams getting ready to come out of the tunnel here. For Mario Cristobal and the work that he's done at the University of Miami here, this is big for him because he's had success obviously in the past, but this right here is a potential trip to the championships game. So for him, he really wants that. And on the other side, Pete Golden, you want to show, hey, they made the right decision, believing in me, promoting me. When everybody else left, I stayed. So we're going to see how this plays out. Let's see. RC says you're watching your Oklahoma Sooners play. Three-team dream, Iowa, UCLA, Oklahoma, in that order mostly. Well, what's their records right now? Update JB on their records right now for each of those three teams. And we're going to start scouting for that fourth team. You say you'll tune into football too, but give you a minute though? Oh, I understand. JB understands. All right, so we see the Miami Hurricanes. They're making their way to the sideline. Ole Miss at the tunnel, getting ready to run across the field. RC said, JB, all three are ranked. And so which one is the lowest rank of the three? I would guess Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. But I really don't know what Oklahoma's record is this year. But that's great. When you can say all of your teams are ranked, that's great. Let's see, RC said you're making fajitas and tacos. Oh man, the only thing that would make this better is if tomorrow, as if today was Friday. If today was Friday, JBB probably jumping up and down right now. I am ready for the weekend. All right, RC says, okay, so Iowa is their ranked 14, and then Oklahoma's 8 and UCLA is 4. Okay, okay. Hey, but they're all in the top 15, so not just the top 25, they're all in the top 15. So that's great. Oh yeah, this is going to be a matchup here. Who can come out here and take control and get some momentum in this one? I say hardly recognize my man Adrian James out there. And of course, Ray Lewis. Oh, I know this is big for them. Let's see, RC say, who I got winning this one? Ultimately, when it's all said and done, I think Miami wins this one. But that being said, though, I do want to root for Ole Miss to win this one, but I think Miami's going to end up winning this one. I mean, can't cheer for the team that knocked my team out of the college football playoffs. So, but other than that, I do think Miami is going to win. But hey, if they don't, that would be a pleasant surprise. And so Lewis in the building. What's good with you, Lewis? What's good? Lewis says, let's go. Money time. Lewis, give me an update for this entire college football, NFL season and stuff. How has your bets been so far on the year? Because I feel like it's been a long time since I've been tracking your wins and losses on the season. So update me on how that looked this entire season. Because I know it's about that time for you to start booking that trip to Las Vegas. Let's see. She said, "Do you think all four quarterbacks left are NFL prospects?" Huh. I say that at least, well, I could say NFL prospects, sure, but are they prospects that'll be drafted in like the first 3 rounds there? I can only say that the game tomorrow for sure gives you the quarterbacks that you really want there. But I've been thinking about that earlier today. Where does Carson Beck rank, especially if he finishes out the college football playoff strong and bring home the natty or something like that? Like does that help elevate him? I feel like this is very critical for him. So I will say, are they at least all prospects? I'd say sure, they're all prospects, but only two is like at the elite level. And then Carson Beck has the most to gain, I think, in terms of if he can just finish this out. And look at the difference in head coaching experience. This is the third, obviously, career game as the head coach for Pete Golding, and it happens to be college football playoff games there. Cristobal is 175th game as a head coach. So we'll see if coaching experience comes into play. All right, so Lewis says, well, JB, college 18, 10, and 3, and the NFL is 15, 9, and 5. Okay, okay. SM, what's good? What's good? And so you say, what do I think about Chambliss? And so honestly, I feel like, because for me, it's been very limited sample size of what I've seen from him so far, but he strikes me as a bit of that gutsy gamer type of vibe that you get. You put him in a game and he's a competitor. He's going to go out there, and a lot of that is a lot of will, not so much just purely, how some guys are just purely just that talented in terms of just, it's like, oh man, they've got a lot of talent, but the kid, he's got some skill and stuff. But I feel like most of it is heart and just determination. And that's something that, like if we're talking next level, I don't know how that really transfers at the next level. But at the college level, you got to like it because that's the competitor that's going to keep you in the game. And then if it's close enough, you saw it against UGA. I mean, hey, he can come alive and he can win it. So he just strikes me as that gutsy guy, but I honestly haven't watched too much of him this past season. So take that with a grain of salt. Lewis said, I got this game over 51 and Ole Miss plus 2.5. So if this game ends up going over 51, then I think I might like Ole Miss chances there because to me, Miami's defense, if they slow them down and it ends up being under 51, that's what the Hurricanes want. They want to slow this one down and have their defense pretty much dominate. But meanwhile, kickoff on the way here. And so we're going to see Ole Miss offense right now coming up here. So let's see how Chambliss looks out there in this one. And again, it's going to come down to composure in this one. Can he make decisions with that blitz coming at him? Or even if it's not the blitz, pressure coming at him, will he make the right decision? Let's see, RC said, he gives me Jameis Winston vibes. That's not exactly the best type of thing. I mean, now Jameis in college was great now at Florida State, but I don't know beyond that if that's what we're looking for. All right, but here we go. 1st and 10 right now for Ole Miss. You've got 4 receivers on the play. One back from their own 25-yard line, shotgun. Pass play, first play of the game, picks up about 2-3 yards on a reception. And that's what it's going to come down to, making quick decisions. Get the ball out of your hand there, because the longer you hold the ball there, the more difficult it's going to be because that pass rush will get to you. So we'll see how fast they can play. 2nd and 6 here for the Rebels. So run play. Picks up about 2 yards on the carry before that Hurricane defense says, nah, not going to happen. Now 3rd down, if you're Ole Miss, you got to be able to get some 3rd downs in this game. Let's see, Lewis says, I might be heading to Levi's Stadium this year if the Bears get there. Oh, I know Lewis will be acting a fool out there. I already know. And so RC said Chambliss, that is. And let's see. ARC. Meanwhile, we got a Hurricanes player down right now. I'm trying to see what number it is. Okay, so 99 there. So you've got a junior. He's 6'3", 325 pounds there. You certainly hate to see injuries there, but that's a big guy right there. That's a big guy. SM says McDaniels to the Lions. Honestly, the only way I don't see that happening, SM, in my humble opinion, is if, say, a team like the Cleveland Browns were to make an offer to McDaniels to where he can be a head coach. If that happens, I think he takes that opportunity. But if he doesn't get a head coaching role, then I feel like Detroit's the perfect place for him because he will know that that means give it 2 years and he'll be back in the market again for the recycled, coaches and stuff like that. And he'd have a lot to work with down there in Detroit. Focus on the offense there. You've got playmakers already. That makes sense. If you don't get the head coaching offer there in which it would have to come from Cleveland, I feel like, then yes, I think McDaniels does go to the Lions there. That would rejuvenate, the Lions offense, help them out a lot. So I do like that. I do like that. So that's what I'm banking on happening. One of those two things happening. All right, 3rd and 4 coming up here for Ole Miss after the injured player for the Hurricanes. And again, we hope that he's able to return in this one. For 3rd and 4 here in the first quarter, opening drive of the game. Chambliss in the shotgun. All right, you've got 2 receivers on the play. Make that 3. Looking, feels the rush, throws it. And that's what I was talking about. That pass rush that the Hurricanes can generate without having to really blitz anybody. You're not going to have much time. So think of it as 1, 2, 3. Got to get that ball out of there. That time you asked the running back to pick up a blitz. He chipped the guy. Wasn't that great of a chip, honestly. And so that time, not much Chambliss can do. And they've got too much speed. You're not going to run outside and get away from these guys. So can Chambliss work from the pocket and get the ball out quickly? That's what he has to be able to do. So it's going to bring up a punt situation here for Ole Miss. 4th and 17. All right, punt's on the way. All right, so it's caught there by the Hurricanes receiver, and he's going to take it to about the 36-yard line. Now we're going to get to see Carson Beck and company in this one. And for me, Carson Beck, when he throws the ball, it's all about ball security for him. If he does not turn this ball over and stuff, then you got to love the Hurricane chances because he can throw that ball, but turnovers has always been that one thing about his game that just brings a question mark. So if he can show in a big game like this, he just protects the football. Don't try to do too much. You don't have to do too much here. Go out there and get the ball in your playmaker hands. That's what you want if you're the University of Miami. Now, 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. Receiver goes in motion. They're going to hand it to the back. In the back, running up the middle. Fighting just to about the 41-yard line there. So it picks up about 5 yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes to get on their opening drive. SM says Harbaugh has options. He does. He's going to have a couple more options, I feel like, after the first round of the NFL playoffs concludes. So if I'm him, he's going to take his time with this one, but he has options. It's great to be in demand, honestly. 2nd and 5. Throws it. Gets the completion. Nasty stiff arm. Finally goes out of bounds, but he picks up the 1st down in the process. It's about 8 yards in the reception there. So the Hurricanes picking up a 1st down. And so Sammy, what's good? And so Samuel, I know you got Ole Miss in this one. Here in the first quarter, 12 minutes and 38 seconds to go here in the first. Carson Beck and the offense after picking up a 1st down shotgun formation. Tight end goes in motion, snaps the ball, steps up, throws one up there. Oh, incomplete. Carson Beck, how do you miss that? It looked like that's one that you should be able to get there from the angle I seen there. But let's see a replay. What happened? So that time stepped up there, saw the safety, tried to get over the safety there, but receiver was clearly coming inside there. He threw that one over his shoulder. Lucky for him, there was nobody back there that could have made a play on the ball. But that's one you want back. That's one you want back. 2nd and 10 for the Miami Hurricanes offensively, ball at about the 49-yard line of the Hurricanes. Going to give it to the back here, and the back is going to take it to Ole Miss side of the football field. Picked up about 2-3 yards there on a carry, and now 3rd down coming up here. Key 3rd down early in this one here, because if you're the Hurricanes, you get a 1st down here. That increased the odds of obviously you being able to get the first team to score here. But if you're Ole Miss, you really want to get a stop here and get the ball back to your offense. You don't want the Hurricanes to keep picking up 1st downs there and build momentum, because I'm telling you, what they have in the backfield, those running backs run harder as the game goes on. All right, 3rd and 8. Beck gets the snap out of the shotgun. Beck feels the rush. Beck using his legs, and Beck takes it. He's going to be about a yard shy of that 1st down marker, in which one would have to believe that this would be encouraging for the Miami Hurricanes to go for it. Now, Miami's got so many options in terms of what they can do. We know that they've got some power backs there, but also you have the ability of one of these receivers going on the end around, breaking to the outside there. There's a couple options the Hurricanes do have in play, so let's see how Ole Miss plays this. All right, they're going to call this 4th and 2. Look at all the tight ends at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom of the formation, but it's a run play, and he's going to get the 1st down. He's not someone you're going to get in that first contact, and that's a 1st down. So the Hurricanes go for it. They move the chains here. They still got the football. They're moving and grooving right now. Ole Miss tried, but they just couldn't get off their blocks. It's like these blockers did a great job of just getting in front of the guy in front of them and just keep pushing. And now we've got a Ole Miss player that's currently being looked at by the medical staff right now. All right, so right now, and I know Lewis took the over there, so we're going to need some points there to happen. But right now, Miami is moving the football there. You know, like they're getting 1st downs already. They're moving it, and it looks like, you know, this is going to be the tone of what Ole Miss can expect defensively. But Ole Miss got to find ways to make a play. When you get them on that 3rd down situation, especially if it's something like 3rd or 7 or something like that, you've got to get a stop in those situations. That might be the only chance you get in the drive to stop them at this point. But again, we're at the commercial thanks to the injured player on Ole Miss. And the score is still 0-0, but this is the opening drive for the Miami Hurricanes. So Ole Miss had the football, didn't do anything with it, and now Miami, they are moving with the football. But again, let JB know, how do you guys think this game is going to play out? And again, if you're just tuning in right now, there's an injured player. That's why we're currently at commercial right now, but the score is still 0-0. Hurricanes moving the ball. And let's see what happens after this commercial. And again, all this at stake right now happens to be a trip to the title game. All right, let's see. Samuel says, all right, so today, this morning, and so you're in Memphis, Tennessee, and you say happy birthday, Elvis. Okay, okay. Didn't know you was down there in Memphis, Tennessee, Samuel. Samuel, I thought you'd be out there at the football field about to run across the football field. Lewis says, putting big money on the Bears game. Oh, man, Lewis said his team's going to come out there, get the W. He's going to go out there and win, and not just win a playoff game, but also beat the Packers in the process. So maybe even getting LaFleur fired, perhaps. All right, so they're going to run the ball here with Brown, I believe, in the backfield. And that's going to be second down coming up there. So Brown's first carry of the game. And again, if you're not familiar with the Hurricanes there, Mark Fletcher Jr. and Chamar Brown, both of those guys, great runners, and they only run harder as the game goes on. So right now, that's why it's pivotal. If you get them the third down, you got to start getting some stops, because if they keep getting first down, I'm telling you, in the second half, you're going to see some big runs, because these guys run angry, especially in the fourth quarter. All right, receiver goes in motion. 2nd and 5 coming up for the Miami Hurricanes at the 36-yard line of Ole Miss. Quick pass there to the receiver, and the receiver maneuvers to about, still fighting there. He's going to be probably just shy of that first down marker. And that's all 2nd and 3rd and 4th effort right there by Tooney. So here in the first quarter, 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go. 3rd and 1 coming up. Yeah, see, Samuel says, Vicksburg, Mississippi, you'll be back this afternoon, or you were back this afternoon, okay. And let's see, Lewis says, well, actually taking Green Bay on the money line, I see. All right, so 3rd and 1 coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. Back up under center, one back in the backfield, multiple tight ends, play fake. Back, looking, throws it short to the back, and the back gets it, shoves off a guy, slowing down by 2 defenders. It doesn't matter. That's the first down there for the Miami Hurricanes, and they will move the chains. So again, you had the play fake there, threw it to the back at the backfield, taking on contact, running hard. Lewis says 600 to make an extra 500 or 1,500. I'm sorry, 1,500, I assume. All right, current drive. Tooney goes in motion. So run play, and this is Fletcher Jr. on the carry there. So you see they're alternating running backs here. And right now, I'm telling you, this continues right here. This is going to be a big problem there for Ole Miss, especially as this game plays on here. But already, if you're Ole Miss here, hey, they are moving right now. They are moving. Got to find a way to slow them down here and get a stop if you're Ole Miss. Meanwhile, if you're Miami, just keep on relying, because the offensive line is winning the battle. They've already got 24 yards rushing in this game. We're in the first quarter, 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Back up under center again. One back in the backfield. Receiver goes in motion here. It's another run play. And takes it all the way. He's about a yard shy of that first down marker. So he picked up about 6 yards on that carry for the Miami Hurricanes. 3rd down coming up here. Another 3rd and 1 situation. Tell me if you've heard that one before. As some said, who am I rooting for? Well, I mean, in all reality, I find myself kind of rooting for both teams. But because Miami put my team out, I find myself wanting to see Ole Miss win. But if Miami wins, won't be angry about that. But because Miami put our team out, I want to see them lose because of that. So, all right, 3rd and 3. And, all right, so they get Tooney in the backfield that time. So finally, Ole Miss defense comes through there, gets the stop there. 4th down coming up. And so now for the Miami Hurricanes here, this is where you bring out the field goal unit in this one. And if you're Miami, you've seen a lot of good things on this drive here. They were moving and grooving. They were, getting both backs involved there. Carson Beck, he was making plays. I think he even used his legs one time on the drive as well. He's capable of doing that. And now we've got the field goal unit here. So if you're Miami, got to convert here on this field goal. You do not want all of this to be for nothing. But 4th and 4, a 38-yard field goal attempt coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see, snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is also good. So the Miami Hurricanes, when they're opening drive offensively, ended up getting 3 points in this one here in the first quarter with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go. And the Hurricanes now have the lead 3-0 in this one. When we come back, we're going to see Ole Miss with the football for the 2nd time in this one. And let's see, can they actually pick up some first downs? Because the last thing you need is to get the ball right back to the Miami Hurricanes there after the drive they just put there. How much time they're starting to take off the clock there. And so if that continues, I'm telling you, it's going to wear out the defense. So how do you counter that? Get some first downs. That's what you need. All right, Sammy says, let's see. So Morning, you woke up at 5:43 a.m., drove from Vicksburg, Mississippi to Memphis, Tennessee, and then from Memphis, Tennessee to Vicksburg, Mississippi today. In the afternoons when you came back, oh man, Samuel, you be hitting the road, man. You be hitting the road. I don't know how you do it. Don't know how you do it. But again, we're at the commercial here. Again, Miami Hurricanes up 3-0, and we're gonna see what Ole Miss does here on their second offensive drive. Lewis says you need Ole Miss to score the next 50 points. You're asking for a bit much right there, Lewis. For them to score 50 by themselves, that's a lot. But yeah, right now, with just 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the first, it would definitely help Lewis if somebody scored a touchdown. That would definitely help you here in the first. All right, again, we're at the commercial here. But yeah, for Ole Miss, it is so critical offensively that Ole Miss comes out offensively and just start getting some first down, start gaining some momentum here because you're gonna have to be able to score. I can see that already. Let's see. Samuel says he thinks you say you think Delaney fell asleep. No way, no way. Laney never falls asleep. Laney is always working hard. Let's see. SM says, JB, what is going on with Michael Irvin? Hey. I'm gonna say this, SM. I'm gonna say this. If Miami does win, I'm telling you, down at the national championship game, we need to make sure the security follows Michael Irvin and keep this man safe. Because I'm telling you, he's gonna take crazy to a whole another level. He by himself will elevate that terminology. I'm telling you. Y'all don't want to see what's going to happen in Miami get to the big game. This man is going to forget that he's not a teenager, and you can't go out there and do the stuff that teenagers might be forgiven for. Whew, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But you know what? I like to see that passion from the alumni. I really like to see that type of passion from the alumni. All right, kickoff on the way. All right, so let's see what Ole Miss does here. They'll be taking over from their own 25-yard line here. And the Rebels, again, 13-1 on the year. You beat the team that gave you that L in the regular season. So now's your chance to go out there. Once again, you came into this game the underdog. Let's see, what does Chambliss do offensively? Can he elevate this team? Because they're going to need it. Again, they got to get the ball out quickly against this Miami Hurricane team. If you don't get the ball out quickly and be quick with your decisions, then it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. That offensive line is going to have their hands full this entire game. And again, we are currently right now awaiting this game to return to action as we're currently at the commercial here. And for those of y'all that came through on the stream yesterday, I appreciate y'all coming through here. How'd y'all think my boy Nash did yesterday on the stream? That was his, first time joining me live yesterday. All right, let's say, as some said, I saw Chambliss is trying to get a 6 year of eligibility. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. With the way that things are looking and stuff, get another year of NIL and stuff, a great competitive team. Why not? Why not? Because at the next level, it may not ever reach that again. It really might not. So the NIL has been a game changer. But even without that, I feel like he would have tried to still come back. Let's see. Kenneth, what's good? How are you tonight? And Kenneth says, hey, my friend, how are you doing tonight? And so JB is doing good. A little tired from work today, a little tired from work today. But I'm glad I was able to get off in time and come and stream. So yeah, JB really hasn't had a minute to just sit back yet today. But hey, I still got energy. I've still got energy. So JB is good. As I said, the Cowboys dude, he was cool. And so yeah, that's him. Cowboys guy. All right, so still waiting here for the commercials to end. Again, we're here in the first quarter with about 6 minutes and 22 seconds to go here in the first quarter play. Miami Hurricanes leading 3-0 so far in this one. All right, so here we go. Resuming back to the game here. Can Ole Miss get things going here offensively on this drive? You say he was tripping a bit his take about Justin Fields, though. I was like, what? I was like, nah, I don't seen that story enough. And this is coming from someone who's a Buckeyes fan. I was like, I've seen that story. I'm like, no, he's done. He's done. He's had more than enough opportunities. That's it. Make room for someone else. All right, so 6 minutes left to go. So now we got second down coming up because that pass was about 3 yards there on the reception by Lacey. So 2nd and 7. Quarterback's going to keep it himself here and goes at the bounce after picking up a yard on the play. So now you find yourself on third down once again. If you want to make this game a game, you got to be able to convert here on third down. Let's see what the Rebels call here on third down. All right, 3rd and 6. Offensive line has got to give him some time here. Snaps the ball. Pressure's coming. Gets the ball out quickly. Incomplete. And again, right now we're seeing signs of it already there. When they bring pressure there, Ole Miss does not right now have an answer for that pressure. As many teams before them have not found that answer there. But that time they actually brought a blitz there. You can see them creeping up, but hey, what were they going to do? They had their hands full with the defensive lineman already. So there's a free shot there towards the quarterback. All he can do is get the ball out there fast. And there was 2 guys around his receiver. Even if he catches it, he's still short of the first down marker. So right now, they've got to figure this out. Punts on the way. Goes out of bounds. So now Miami will get the football here once again. Last time out there, they scored 3 points. Let's see if they can come up with some more points here on this drive. All right, again, we are still here at the commercial in this one. But yeah, that whole Justin Fields take, that was wild. I was like, come on now. Especially as a Cowboys fan, I was like, so you mean to tell me you seen all the whole Joe Milton experiment, you saw the Trey Lance stuff, and you want more? But I was like, what about him going to the Cowboys then? He's like, nah, about that. Let's see, RC says, is Aaron Glenn still the coach of the Jets? Yeah, he's still the coach of the Jets there. Since that was his first year taking over a really bad team, and the GM did him no favors by giving him a guy like Justin Fields. So yeah, he's coming back another year. CSM says Miami is flying to the ball. And so, yeah, they've been doing that all college football playoffs. If you've noticed that, they have been getting after it, flying to the football. They've got speed, they've got size, they've got power, and the best ability is when you can generate pressure without having to blitz. I mean, yeah, you blitz occasionally, but when you can generate the type of pressure that you would get if you sent like 5, 6 guys with just 4 guys usually, that makes life extremely difficult. And right now, this is tough. This is really tough because Chambliss, he's not going to be able to run around and run his way from this. These guys are fast. You're not going to be able to just run away from them like that. So this is tough. And the defense is going to get tired because they're sitting on the field too long. So right now, this is going exactly how the Hurricanes would have liked for this game to go, honestly. As you already said, you was with your girl, the kids, and your buddy, so you couldn't really focus too hard on the show yesterday, but you chimed in when you could. And so I appreciate that, RC. Really, I do appreciate that, for real. For real. And so, yeah, but I understand. JB understands. He said you did hear that the guest was a Cowboys fan, so that's what's up. And so yeah, because when it comes to all 32 teams in the NFL, I feel like most of the time we're the harshest on the Cowboys there, just because the brand alone and stuff. And so, and I know we got quite a few Eagle fans in here and stuff, so can be a little harsh sometimes to the Cowboys. But bringing him on and having somebody that actually, is fond of the Cowboys, that adds another element to it. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 for the Miami Hurricanes here. Again, leading 3-0. So run play. And Brown picks up about 8 yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up. We got 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hurricanes already up 3-0. Second offensive possession here for the Miami Hurricanes. And look at that. Brown already on 1st down. Picked up a lot of work. Against a team like the Hurricanes and how they're playing right now, you've got to start your work early on. 1st downs, you got to get to them fast. Make it to where it's 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, something like that. And then from there, continue to do your homework early because you're going to need it late. Quick pass to the tight end. And tight ends can get the 1st down there for Miami Hurricanes, moving defenders in the process and move the chains. 4:25 to go in the first. And again, every 1st down just continues to just add up and give the Hurricanes more momentum. All right, shotgun formation here. Beck looking. Beck throws it over the middle and gets the completion. Gets the completion there. The Tooney going to move the chains, but wait a minute. There is a penalty right now, and you can see the Ole Miss defender. He hit the floor. I wonder if there was some type of head-to-head contact or something along that line. But clearly the defender got the worst end of that one. SM says, JB was the most interesting game on Wild Card Weekend, in my humble opinion. The most interesting game, I would have to say, is going to be, honestly, thinking about it, I feel like it is probably going to end up being in the NFC. I'm going to go with the Eagles and 49ers. Eagles and 49ers, because I really like what the 49ers have done this season despite injuries, but I really feel like the Eagles still can take it up a notch, playoff big game at home, as we typically see sometimes from home teams that underachieved in the regular season. So I think that was going to be a good matchup there, in all honesty. Some good coaches in that one, so that's my pick there for the NFC. And the AFC, I've got to go with, this might be a little biased here, but after thinking it over, I got to go with the Chargers and the Patriots simply because this is a game of gaining respect from those that believe that the Patriots have played a cupcake schedule, and that's the only reason why they're there. So this is a game of going out there, beating the Chargers, and showing that Drake May is for real in the playoffs, but also knowing, a guy like Jim Harbaugh, I've seen what he's done in the postseason before with the 49ers, so I know he's going to have that team ready. So I think that's going to be the most interesting one in the AFC. But I feel like my answer could just about change almost every day because there's so many interesting matchups. Let's see, she says Bears versus Packers. Yeah, I thought it over, and I do think the Bears are going to win that matchup there. Packers don't know how much, like how healthy they really are, but ultimately, I think the Bears are going to get this one. It's time for some payback. Time for some payback for Chicago. All right, look at the difference here in yards. They've got Ole Miss for -3, and they've got Miami for 72. Meanwhile, Hurricanes first and 10. Another run play, and Brown is a tough guy to bring down. And look at Brown go all the way to the 30-yard line there of Ole Miss, but there is a penalty. There is a penalty. Brayhawk, what's good? What's good? How are you? All right, she said, JB, but the rivalry between the Bears and the Packers is unparalleled. I mean, yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth, Although before the Bears won that last one, I mean, it was pretty one-sided. But you're right. You're right. That's a classic and stuff. It's just I don't know how healthy the Packers are. Maybe I just need to check the injury report, but I just don't know how healthy they truly, truly are in that one. Let's see. Braden says, nah, they don't need no payback. Says doing good. SM says, how is that not targeting? What the heck? And so, yeah, that was insane. Quick pass, caught by the receiver, but the receiver is just going to pick up 2 yards there on the play, possibly 3, with under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Again, Hurricanes up 3-0. And so Lady says, still here, been cleaning out the chicken coop, but been listening. Okay. Appreciate you still listening in. All right, 2nd and 13 coming up here. And again, Carson Beck. Can he find a way to get a first down here for his team? All right, going to put number 0 in motion here. Beck looking. Beck throws it. And yeah, that's a live ball there. That's a live ball. I was about to say that pass was behind. So good job by the running back to still get to that ball. Because if he just lollygags and let the defender pick it up, that was a backwards pass. So that would have been a live ball. Can you imagine, though, if the running back would have not have just thought about that and thought it was just a regular incompletion? All right, 3rd and 9. Beck. Tried to snap it there, but there's a penalty. All right, he says, hey, Laney. Okay, I see the movement there. Small movement, but still movement. So now it's 3rd and 14 coming up here. Again, here in the first quarter with 1:25 to go. All right, shotgun here. You got trips top of the screen right there. One receiver at the bottom. And they're going to opt to run the ball here. And Fletcher's going to pick up maybe a yard, if that. So excellent job there by Ole Miss to get the stop. That's going to bring up 4th down and the punt unit of the Miami Hurricanes. Right now, I'm a little concerned for Lewis's over. I know there's plenty of time here, but right now, somebody's got to score. Somebody's got to score for Lewis to get that over. Because he took the over at, what was it, Lewis? 50.5, I think. So now we got 4th and 12 coming up. We got about 33 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. Hurricanes punt the ball. And the punt rolls into the end zone there. So just 24 seconds remaining here. before we reach the second quarter. And our score, Miami 3, Ole Miss 0. And just a reminder for everybody that tomorrow we will be going live for the second college football playoff Final Four matchup there between the Oregon Ducks and the Indiana Hoosiers there for that rematch and that matchup to see who's going to earn the right to make it to the championship on that end, which Big Ten team. All right, so here we go. Rebels with the football, 3 receivers top of the screen. It's a run play, and the running back is going to pick up about a yard and a half there on the carry. Second down coming up. RC said, just eating some Mexican food you made there. Okay, RC. Should have shared some with JB. Oh, got some movement there for the Miami Hurricanes there. I don't know what that was about. Why would he do that? I mean, literally, the clock was about to run out for the end of the quarter, and then you had him just jump off there. That made no sense there. That made no sense. I mean, you got to be aware, like, hey, there ain't but a second left before the quarter's about to end. But they got him. I see what he fell for, though. Chambliss with the clap, I see why he fell for that. So you're going to gift them a couple yards here. They'll take that. 2nd and 3 with a second left here before well, actually, the quarter's going to go ahead and run out. So that's the end of the first quarter. Miami up 3-0, but Ole Miss, when we come back, looking at 2nd and short when we come back. Let's see, RC said, JB, I made some guacamole too. Okay, RC. Hey, RC, you be living your best life, man. I mean, every time we talk, I feel like I end up after the stream like, man, I wish I had what RC's over there eating. So RC's over there like living his best life. But that's the end of the first quarter. Miami up 3-0. But Ole Miss, hey, you come out second quarter, find something offensively, you never know what can happen. All right, again, we are still right now currently at the commercial here in this one. But first quarter in the books, you guys tell me, how do you feel about how this game's going so far with 1 quarter in the books? I know it's still obviously 3 quarters left to go, but what's the vibe you guys are feeling right now? And is it really going the way that you kind of guessed this game would start off? And again, we are currently right now here at the commercial. I feel like we've had a good amount of commercials so far in this one. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to get back to the action here. I feel like we've had a lot of commercials so far in this one. Let's see, SM said you thought it'd be a high scoring game. I was open to that possibility, but from what I had seen so far, this college football playoff thing from Miami's defense, that led me to believe that maybe wouldn't be as high scoring as I originally would have thought. But hey, who knows? A lot can happen in the second quarter that can change things. It might just take the first team to score a touchdown to really open this up. All right, but 2nd and 3 here for the Rebels. From their own 27-yard line. Snaps it. It's a run play. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Oh, my goodness. Just when we thought there wasn't going to be any offense. Look at Lacey go. That's a touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Kawan Lacey for 73 yards on the touchdown. Miami's defense have been bottling things up the entire game up until now. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Just 2 plays, 80 yards, 34 seconds. And maybe that's the high scoring that we were looking for right there. Maybe that's what's going to trigger the high scoring in this one. As the RC said, we got a player who is shooting 0 for 14. How does that even happen, RC? How does a player, I feel like once you get past the 0-4, 0-5, unless you are the star of the team, you might want to look and try to pass it more that day. It's just not your night, in all honesty. But 0 for 14, though? And they still letting her shoot? That's wild. But man, look at that. Look at that. I really thought Lacey was going to run out of gas towards the end. It really looked like it. And let's see, as some said, and just like that, we got a game. Wow. Just like that. It's funny. That's what you love about football. Something can change and just like that. So that is going to give that offense a lot of confidence right there. Them run blockers, they're going to be blocking a lot more aggressive now. Gotta love it. Meanwhile, for the Hurricanes there, oh, I know Mario Cristobal hates to see it. If there is such a thing as a mulligan, I'm sure he would have used it on that run. Wow. Let's see. RC says, JB, they are not the star. They are the 3rd and sometimes 4th option. Yeah, ain't no way the 4th option should be taking that many shots. Even if it wasn't for the 0 for, you just can't have your 4th option taking 14 shots now. That's diabolical right there, RC. But man, just like that. First quarter was a snooze fest, but here in the second, we already got the fireworks going here. But how will Carson Beck and the Miami Hurricanes respond here? Again, Carson Beck, he knows a little something about big games. You know, he's been in quite a few big games over his career, especially at UGA. So he's going to remain calm. I have no doubt about that. And let's see how the Hurricanes respond here. But this is exactly what the doctor, a.k.a. Lewis, wanted to prescribe right there. A quick touchdown. Now 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes. Beck looking. Beck throws it. Beck gets the completion there to the receiver. And that's going to be a pickup of about a good 7-8 yards in that catch. Again, here in the early couple seconds of the second quarter at 14:32 to go here in the second quarter of play. Miami finds himself trailing 7-3 now. So she says still trailing 55-50 with 1 minute left in the third. You say, Ole Miss is up. All right, receiver goes in motion. Run play. And oh, what a hard run that was there by Mark Fletcher Jr. He ran over a bystander there in the process. Gotta love it. These running backs, they run hard. They don't look to run past you. They look to run over you. Again, look at that. It started with the interior of the offensive line winning that battle. And then when he ran over the secondary, remember, that was a wrap. All right, so 1st and 10 here for the Miami Hurricanes from their own 43-yard line. Play fake. Beck looking. Beck throws it short. Incomplete. Now, he got there too fast. What are you doing? What are you doing, son? Wow, what are you doing? You're gifting them yards, and you don't need to do that. They can get it themselves just fine. I don't know. At that time, he got a little too excited. I don't know. Percy says, what's Tony doing out there, JB? So right now, my man Tony, he's not doing, all that much. He got 2 catches for 18 yards currently. I know he had a couple, I think at least 1 carry in the backfield. That didn't work out too well for him. But, they haven't used him as much just yet. But believe me, I'm sure the offensive coordinator wants to get the ball in his hands pretty soon. But thanks to that penalty, first down, quick pass. Oh, incomplete. Tried to throw it to Tony that time. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up. Yeah, that time, bad throw. All right, so you got 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. Second quarter, 13 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Tight end goes in motion towards top of the screen. Snaps the ball. Back. Throws it. That time gets it to his receiver, and his receiver can get the first down there. Picked up 11 yards in the play. Needed 10. Got 11. And the first down there for the Miami Hurricanes. So Carson Beck saying, hey, I got this. All right, shotgun formation here. Got receiver going in motion. Back. On the move. Back. Throws one deep. Incomplete. Incomplete. Clean coverage on the play. 2nd and 10 coming up. He tried to find Tooney deep there, but excellent job there by the defense to be ready for it. I like that. Even though he knew that Tooney got behind him there, he still played clean coverage there. That's how you do it. 2nd and 10 coming up. So run play. Oh, I'm sorry. Beck's going to keep it himself there. And that's going to pick up about a good 4 yards in that run. So now you got 3rd down coming up here. So 3rd down coming up. They're going to call it 3rd and 7 coming up at about the Ole Miss 39-yard line here in the second quarter. 12 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Ole Miss leading this one 7-3 over the Miami Hurricanes. Beck looking. Beck throws over the middle. Oh, gets the completion. Took a hit there, but it was well worth it for Mr. Lofton to get that completion and a first down with that reception. So now Miami on the move here. Oh, wait a minute. Lofton is in some pain on the sideline. All right, 2 receivers top of the screen here, multiple tight ends. Oh, goodness. What is he doing? Oh, my goodness. Everything just went wrong for the Miami Hurricanes on that play, just about. I mean, wow. Lucky for them, the defense didn't fall on that ball. All right, so the Hurricanes called a timeout there, so that saves that debacle. It's like Crystal Ball looked into his crystal ball and said, hey, something bad's about to happen. Let's call timeout. And again, we are at the commercial thanks to the timeout that was called by the Miami Hurricanes. And again, right now, Ole Miss on top 7-3, but Miami moving the football once again. For the Hurricanes, as much as they're moving the football, they definitely want to try to make sure that they come away with a touchdown as opposed to 3 points. All right, so again, timeout was called by the Miami Hurricanes, and we will see what they end up calling when they come back from the timeout. But hey, that last run there by Ole Miss was huge. That was what that offense needed right there to really ignite them. So they're up 7-3, but they're going to ask their defense to at least hold Miami to 3 points. All right. Getting back to the action here. Again, 11 minutes and 23 seconds left to go here in the second quarter with Ole Miss up 7-3. All right, so you got two receivers at the top of the screen right now at about the 24-yard line of Ole Miss. It's going to be a run play here off the right guard, and that's going to pick up about a good 4 yards there on the carry, bringing it up 2nd and 6. And again, that was Brown on the carry. All right, so 2nd and 6 right now for the Miami Hurricanes here. Multiple tight ends, spot motor formation, two receivers top of the screen here, one running back. Beck gets the snap. Beck throws one up there. Oh, excellent job there. He just put his hand up there in coverage there. And excellent job making the play without interfering with tuning. And again, he kind of looked back towards the end there, put a hand up there. Excellent job. That's what you want. All right, so big third down right now. 3rd and 6 here by the Miami Hurricanes in this current drive. 9 plays, 54 yards. 4 minutes and 8 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock here. Carson, Beck, throws it, gets the completion. And then Tony slips away and gets the first down. How do you let that happen? How do you let that happen if you are Ole Miss? It literally was right in front of you. He slid off the first guy, second guy. I don't know what the second guy was doing. Oh, man, look at that. Look at that. Second guy, so clueless. The man is holding his foot, and you still over pursue. Look at that. Got away from both of them. Third guy just shimmies off of him. Pure embarrassment. If you're Ole Miss, you can't have plays like that. You just can't have plays like that. All right, 1st and 10 for the Hurricanes. Run play. And Mark Fletcher Jr. is going to pick up about a good 6 yards in the carry. All right, so here we go with a 2nd and 5 right now for Miami Hurricanes. They just need about 8 yards to get into the end zone, and they're running back fighting forward. He's going to be about a yard and a half shy of that first down marker, and that was Fletcher Jr. on the carry there. Let's see. All right, so RC says, JB, who do you think gets blown really bad in a wild card matchup? Well, if I go off of this season, something tells me that Jaguars and Bills game has a potential. I know I could go with the Rams and the Panthers, but the Panthers I think will at least fight hard at least a little bit. But if everything just, like I'm talking about worst case scenario for Buffalo and they just wake up on the wrong side of the bed, offensively and defensively, that could get nasty. That could get nasty. As Lewis says, come on, Ole Miss, you say 43 more. You say 43 more. All right, so now we're looking at a 1st and goal. Right now, knowing his current drive, the Hurricanes have went 73 yards, taken off 6 minutes and 50 seconds in terms of time possession off the clock there. Again, that helps your defense stay fresh out there and works on the other team. 1st and goal here for the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see, what will they do? Back up under the center here. Run play. Oh, the running back slipped. Oh my goodness. The only thing that can probably stop Miami right now in that field is basically gravity, and he slipped. He slipped. Now, RC said, JB, I've been rooting hard for the Bears with my Cowboys out of the postseason before it even begins. I mean, hey, in the NFC, I'd love to see the Bears get there. If the Bears would end up being a team to get there, I'd be more than happy with that. I'd like to see a Patriots and Bears rematch of the Super Bowl. I would love to see that. All right, 2nd and goal coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes for the 4-yard line. And Brown is running, and with everything he can, and he gets into that end zone, there's just no stopping the physicality that this kid plays with. You know, like, he runs extremely hard. He really does. SM says 4 down territory. And so he didn't even need all 4 downs. He didn't even need it. Look at that. He trucked his own lineman to get there. That's how you know he wanted it. He trucked his own lineman in the process to get there. He said, no one will stop me. That's what I'm talking about. Almost 8 minutes in terms of time possession off the clock on that drive. That Brown's a big guy. That Brown is a big guy. Let's see, RC said, I sense some bias and glazing from JB about assuming the Patriots just Super Bowl bound immediately. Nah, it's not an assumption on my part there. It's wishful thinking. It just comes down to, I honestly can't say that I feel like there's a team in the playoffs that is that much better than us to where we can't go out there and have a chance to win. I feel like every game we play, we're going to have a chance. It's just going to come up to us executing. And if we do get a lead, you know, holding on to that lead, not like when we played Buffalo that time, letting them come back. But it's going to be a growing experience. But I feel like this team, I would compare them to the first year that Tom Brady had won the Super Bowl in terms of just, you know, heavily relying on the defense, make enough plays on offense. If we can play that style of football, I say why not? Because nobody fears the Denver Broncos right now. But that being said, let's see. Mr. JB says that's that's what you're talking about. That touchdown right there. That's what you're talking about. Okay. So 10-7 here in the 2nd quarter with 7 minutes and 9 seconds left to go here. Let's see what Ole Miss does to try to respond here. But now we're getting some points. 17 combined points. SM says the U. There it is. Hey, that Brown guy, he runs hard. Him, Mark Fletcher Jr., they both run extremely hard. And if you're Ole Miss, you go back on that drive to that 3rd down play where basically Tooney just got away from the first guy, 2nd guy completely whiffed, 3rd guy wanted no part of making that tackle, and the 4th guy wasn't strong enough to stop him. So, insane how they routinely make those plays on 3rd down. But yeah, Hurricanes scored a touchdown on that long 15-play drive. And so we'll see how Ole Miss responds. All right, let's see. Hershey says, this is crazy. JB to 0 for 14 shooters. She scored her first points of the game to give us the lead. 59-57. Can't make this spit up. Hey, I guess they say if at first you don't succeed, try again. And that's exactly what took place. That's exactly what took place. Dang, that was Lacey's 24th rushing touchdown of the season. I had no idea. All right, so now the Hurricanes about to kick the ball off here, and let's see if we get a return here by Ole Miss. Ole Miss will take over from their own 25. All right, so now this is where the offense, can they keep it going? Do it for Lewis. Lewis would like to see him get a touchdown scored here on this drive. All right, here we go. 1st and 10 here for the offense as they break the huddle. About 8 seconds to go here in the play clock. Shotgun formation here for the Rebels. Receiver goes in motion, snaps the ball, fakes it to the back, throws it to the back now. The back got to make somebody miss here. Still in his feet there. Did he step out of bounds before that first down marker, though? That's the question. They say he did step out of bounds there, but he did pick up 6 yards prior to stepping out of bounds there. Again, love the effort there. Nice 6-yard pickup. All right, 2nd and 3. Shotgun again here by the Rebels. It's a run play. And right up the middle. So it seems to be right up the middle, like he's running up a chimney right now. It seems to be a couple holes that he's starting to take advantage of. But he's got to get there fast. Let's see. RC said, JB, why I thought both games were today? And so, I mean, nah. If it was maybe a Saturday, then sure. But during a weekday, can spread that one out. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Rebels. And the Rebels taking a deep shot, incomplete. Excellent coverage there with the Miami Hurricanes there. 2nd and 10 coming up. So that time he felt the rush there. Now there's a flag. There's a flag here. Let's see if the referee calls on this one. Ooh. So this is going to be against the Miami Hurricanes here. Number 5 there, roughing the passer. They're not going to let you get away with that one. And when you do something like that, I know it's never intentional really half the time there, but now you gift them a 1st down and 15 yards there. Oh, man. All right, here in the 2nd quarter with about 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go. Again, Hurricanes up right now 10-7, but Ole Miss gifted a 1st down. Let's see what they do here on 1st and 10 now on Miami side of the football field from their 47-yard line. Throws it, gets the completion there. And that's what the fans have been waiting to see here. Him be able to sit there in that pocket comfortably and deliver a strike, which he was able to do. That time, clean pocket, clean enough pocket, threw the ball, completion. 1st and 10 here for Ole Miss, 5 wide on the play. Snaps the ball, quick pass, caught, shakes away from the first guy, brought down by the 3rd guy, but he did pick up about 2 yards on the catch with 5 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter of play. And run play brought down at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up. RC said, giving Panthers a chance or not, JB? He said, or will they get mud stopped? I don't think they're going to get mud stopped. I will give them a small chance because they showed in the regular season they can do it. And in the playoffs, when you're at home and you're amped up there, a lot of things can happen. And that defense does get a little physical, but I will say that. But I don't think they're going to win. I think it's going to be more like final score Rams win like 27-17, something along those lines there. But the Panthers put up that much of a fight. But at the end of the day, the better team and the Rams will win. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Now, if this game was at the Rams, that'd be entirely different. That'd be entirely different. I might lean towards it, but this one's going to be a competitive, tough matchup. So Panthers, they got a small chance since they're at home. All right, so it's going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt coming up here to try to tie this game up here. Kick is up, and the kick, it is good. So we are all tied up right now between the Miami Hurricanes and the Ole Miss Rebels right now. So 10-10 is our score. That's combined 20 points right there. So Lewis would love to see somebody else score here before the half. But that's where we currently stand right now, tied in this one 10-10 before we reach halftime. So again, we're currently here at the commercial. And again, we're currently right now here at the commercial, but Ole Miss tied it up 10-10. And again, a lot of that was made possible with that roughing the passer call that gifted Ole Miss those 15 yards there. If you're the Hurricanes, you got to avoid stuff like that because right now you're playing great, but you are allowing them to hang around with it being 10-10. And I feel like for Miami, it's just been mistakes. You know, defensively, that's probably a mistake on their end with one that they wish they can have back. And then that penalty, that last drive out there. And again, we are currently right now at the commercial, but when we come back, we'll see what the Miami Hurricanes will do this time out offensively. See how they will respond. All right, let's see. So Kenneth says that he had Mexican food for lunch today and had pizza for dinner. So Kenneth also getting some Mexican food up in here. JB's got to do something. I got to do something right, like you guys are doing right now, when it comes to these food. 'Cause that sounds good. All right, so getting ready for the kickoff here from Ole Miss, and again, we're all tied up 10-10 in the game to determine which of these teams will get to the national championship game. Kickoff, no return. So now the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see what they will do offensively this time out there. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Look at the difference in time possession here. Hurricanes, just about 20 minutes to turn time possession. All right, Hurricanes snap the ball, feeds it to the back, and they're running back brought down immediately. That time, two defenders got to him there quickly. Picked up a yard on the carry. Second down coming up. That's the kind of energy that you need right now if you're Ole Miss. Go back there and make a play. But now second down coming up here in the second quarter. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go again, all tied up 10-10. And look at that. Carson Beck, 10 completions to 8 different wide receivers. That means Carson Beck is out there and he is spreading the football around out there. Beck, looking, Beck, quick pass, caught by the receiver. And the receiver brought down immediately. That is so important right now for Ole Miss. The first guy has got to get there and make the tackle. Let's see, Ken says March 17th is that cancer patient, the cancer patient fundraiser. So that's March 17th. Okay. Okay, March 17th, noted. All right, so third down conversion. Will they be able to convert here? 3rd and 5. Snaps the ball. Beck, looking, Beck throws one up there. Has a wide receiver all by himself. How do they do it? How do they do it? The amount of separation. All by himself. The DB guessed inside and he guessed incorrect. All right, so we got 1st and 10 with under 3 minutes to go here before halftime. Fakes it to the back, throws it, caught by the tight end. The tight end fighting for what he can get. Going to be a pickup of about a good 3, maybe 4 yards there in the reception. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left to go here before we reach halftime. Hurricanes with 2 timeouts. Rebels, they have 3 timeouts. And again, Miami doing a good job on 3rd downs today, but right now it's 2nd and 6. 5 wide, Beck looking, Beck moving around, keeping his eyes downfield. Beck throws one, just lays it up there all by himself. And that is a touchdown for the Miami Hurricanes, just like that. Just like that. And again, Marion, this time a 52-yard receiving touchdown. How are these guys getting so wide open all by themselves? I have no idea. But these guys are being left all alone out there. Man. But yeah, Brayhawk, you may have a point. Let's see, Brayhawk says, oh my goodness, touchdown. RC said, I should change my screen name to JB's Lakers or Trash Sauce. Don't do it, RC. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. Extra point is good. So the Miami Hurricanes, just like that, all by himself in the secondary. I mean, my goodness, what happened? What happened? Did the DB fall asleep? What happened? So I'm looking at it now and oh yeah, he hook, line, and sinker. Fell for the tight end there as your last line of defense completely ignored the slot receiver there or outside receiver that ran that route there. So, and great job by Carson Beck to see that. Brayhawk said, JB just unsubscribed RC. I would never. You say, am I in favor of an even more expanded college football playoff field? Right now, I would lean, and when I say lean, mildly lean towards yes, simply because I feel like nobody really too much cares about the other bowl games, so why not add more? I like this style of play, has a real, feel-good story to it. There's definitely some changes that I would make to it, but I'd say, yeah, I'm in favor of a little bit more of an extended college football playoff field. Essam says, is Beck raising his draft stock? I said before this game that I feel like this game, and if there is a next game, is crucial to Carson Beck in terms of just, you put that together there, gets your name to where it's like, okay, we're not thinking about the turnovers that he had in the middle of the season there. We see a quarterback that's, tested, lots of experience there. Can it raise his draft staff there? I feel like, yeah, but will it elevate him to like first round? No. Second round? Don't think so. But, it just comes down to, I got to see what the scouts are saying afterwards. But is it helping his stock? Absolutely. Absolutely. But then again, in the NFL, nobody's that wide open. Nobody is that wide open in the NFL. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Let's see. She said, what would be the perfect amount of teams? Is it between 12 and 20? Honestly, I feel like adding really two to four more teams is probably about as much as I'd want to go. Because if you do more than that, now we're just going to end up to where regular season doesn't too much matter because everybody just feels like, oh, I can just get in easy, doesn't matter. So we still want to have it be competitive to get in, but another 2 to 4 would be ideal, I think. And again, we are at the commercial here, but Miami scored wide open, wide open, excellent play call. It worked. Carson Beck saw it, moved around. Good job. Now, how will Ole Miss respond? Do it for Lewis. Let's see. She said, don't really get Cinderella stories in college football like that, anyways. And so that may be a thing of, oh, but you know what? There were some years that I truly feel like had the underdogs gotten in, they probably would have messed up the bracket. But those years are few and in between. But the reason why I really want those in is for teams like, obviously this year, who knows what Notre Dame would have did, had they been in the field. I go back to really the first year of the college football playoffs. I feel like Baylor that year was really good. And I feel like who was the other team? If it was, I think it was Baylor. Was the other team TCU or something? But I feel like they could have competed with the teams that did get in there. It's just they didn't get that opportunity. It came down to almost just reputation at that point in time. But I know especially that Baylor team that year was really good. So some years it would have been beneficial. Then other years, like the year that Michigan State got in, nah, we would have had just too many teams there. But we're past the point of it being just one, two dominant teams. I feel like now the talent is more spread out because of NILs. So yeah, so I'm all for it. And you never know when a Cinderella might arise that's a legitimate thing. You never know. Even if it's just the Final Four run. All right, so now we got a 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Rebels here at the 2-minute mark. They've got 3 timeouts to work with here. Can they move the ball? Offensive line has got to give them time. Tight end goes in motion. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back on their own 29-yard line. They're going to opt to run the ball. And going to pick up about 3, maybe 4 yards on a play. So now 3rd down coming up. And again, with 3 timeouts here, they want to ensure that if they don't get a first down, you don't leave the Hurricanes with a ton of time. But obviously, you want to get that first down there if you're Ole Miss. So 3rd and 2 coming up. And oh, look at that. Direct snap to the running back there. And I could not have seen a worse executed play if you drew it up to be worse than that. Terrible play call. This ain't no 2-point play. Did you really think that was going to work against this defense? Wow. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed. There's a time and a place for a play like that, but this was not it. For 2 yards on top of that, I can understand this was a 2-point play, man, but come on, man. Come on. So now you got a 4th down coming up here. I don't like that. I don't like that play. Put the ball into your quarterback hands and let him go out there and make the play. This is too big a game right now. You thought you were going to caught him sleeping? Like, oh, surprise, the running back got the ball and he's running up the middle against his defense. Come on. So now, thanks to that, now you get the Miami Hurricanes an opportunity to call this timeout, which they did, and start game planning on what they're going to do with a $1.24. Let's say after the kick, probably about a minute and 19 seconds, what they're going to do. Terrible execution there by Ole Miss. All right, punts on the way. All right, fair caught at about the 25-yard line there. So let's see what Miami does here before the half with about a $1.19 to go here. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Miami Hurricanes. They've got 1 timeout, but a minute and 19 seconds to work with here. Carson Beck already 14 of 18 for 156 yards passing, about to add to that number now. Beck looking back, brought down for the sack. And that's what you need. Make them feel a little uncomfortable. I feel like this entire college football playoffs there, the offense has felt very comfortable. Someone has got to make them feel uncomfortable. And that time, a little delayed blitz helped freed up the lineman to get to him. All right, that's a loss of 8 yards there. So now Ole Miss, they're thinking about the clock. They're going to call a timeout because they believe that they can get a stop right now. So now it's 2nd and 18, a minute and 14 left to go. Miami up 17-10 here before halftime. All right, so here goes Beck. 1 back in the backfield here. Going to motion the tight end here. So 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back in the backfield. Going to opt to run the ball. And Brown, tough guy to bring down there, but fought for maybe 2 yards on the play. So again, Ole Miss can burn another timeout here, preserve as much time as possible. And that's what they do. They got a minute and 10 seconds left to go here. 3rd down coming up. So if you're Miami, you want to go ahead, run it again, make them burn that last time out. All right, so 3rd and 16 coming up. All right, receiver goes in motion here for the Hurricanes. Snap the ball. Going to hand to the back, and the back is going to break free from the first guy, but that is going to be about it. Referee's going to come in and break this one up here. If you're Ole Miss, you got to keep your cool here. You can't do anything dumb and give them a first down there. Just walk away. Timeout called. 1:02 left to go. So by the time they get the ball there, they're probably going to have about a good 54 seconds to work with offensively. And let's see, can Joe Judge, quarterback coach there, help guide this offense down the field and at least give yourself a field goal attempt at the very least? That's at least got to come away with a field goal attempt. All right, so here comes the punt unit for the Hurricanes. See if we get a return here by Ole Miss. No return. So from their own 31-yard line with 55 seconds to go here before halftime, let's see what the Rebels can do. Can they find a way to get some type of score here before halftime? Kenneth said, who gets the ball to start the third quarter? That's going to be the Miami Hurricanes because Ole Miss got the football first in this one. So the Miami Hurricanes will get the football first in the third quarter. But great question. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Shotgun formation here. You've got about 4 receivers on the field, 1 running back. See if the Hurricanes are bringing any type of pressure here. They send 4. Throws it short to the running back. Running back gets away from the first guy, runs before he goes out of bounds. There, 47 seconds left to go here. And again, good job just getting to the running back. Running back makes the first guy miss. Get some yards here. They're hurrying up here. All right, from their own 35-yard line here, 2nd and 6 coming up. Can he get a 15, 20-yarder and get the completion? Throws it, gets the completion there. That's a first down. 41 seconds, got to hurry up, get lined up here. But this is an opportunity for the offense passing-wise to continue to get into a rhythm here. All right, gets the completion to the 49. All right, here we go, 2nd and 3. Throws it, gets the completion there. That gets them close to where field goal range is. And a first down here, so you want to definitely come out here and clock it. 26 seconds here. Let's see how he works the clock. All right, clocked it. So we got 24 seconds on the clock. Again, the Hurricanes up 17-10 right now against Ole Miss. All right, so we got a timeout called here by Miami. That's their final timeout. So both teams don't have any more timeouts right now. Again, Hurricanes are up 17-10. There's still about 24 seconds here before halftime. And Ole Miss down 7 points here. Let's see how they play this one out the rest of the way. But at the very least, got to play it smart and try to come away with at least 3 points. The Miami Hurricanes will get the football to start off the second half. So it's even more critical right now if you're Ole Miss to try to come up with some kind of points. All right, here we go. 2nd and 10. Receiver goes in motion. Quarterback throws it. Almost threw a pick. Oh my goodness, almost threw a pick. What was he thinking? You know what? Let's just. Whew, that was too close there. That was too close there. If he throws a pick right there, oh my goodness, he may still be running. Like, as a quarterback, you have got to protect the football first and foremost in these type of situations. But here we go. 3rd and 10 coming up. Let's see, Childress throws it, gets incomplete, right off the receiver hands there. 4th down coming up there. 16 seconds there. So ultimately, not able to get them any closer there. So we're going to see if this kicker has what it takes to make this field goal. And this will be a far field goal attempt. He made his first one from 42 yards, but this is 58 yards here. 58 yards here for this college kid. Can he make it? Kick is up, and the kick, it is good. Okay, hey, these kickers make it look easy these days. I mean, these kids got some legs on them. Look at that, 3 points there for the Rebels. So now our score is Miami 17, Ole Miss 13, with about 11 seconds left to go here before we reach halftime. But man, look at that kick. There are NFL kickers that are jealous at the leg that this guy has. Let's see, RC said 1 to 10. How interesting is this game for me right now? In all honesty, I'd say probably I'd give it like about a 7 so far. About a 7. That first quarter was tough to shake, but I like what I've seen since then. Samuel says you missed the game. Essam said that's an NFL kicker, ain't it? Ain't that the truth? 58 yards, and he had some room to spare now. He could have made that for maybe about 62. 62 or 63. That is an NFL leg. And believe me, there are some teams right now that certainly can use a kicker like that. If Baltimore had someone like that, they'd still be playing right now. As Rusty said, wait a second, bro. He said, we ain't even at halftime yet? Dang, JB. I feel like there was so many commercials in the first quarter because I don't understand it because I feel like Miami's been running the clock with how long their positions have, how long their time possessions have been. But there's been a lot of stoppages in this, game so far. And we still got 11 seconds before we reach halftime. Let's see. Kenneth says, maybe we get a dogfight in the game tomorrow night. It should be. It should be. I mean, 2 of the top quarterbacks that we're talking about in terms of prospects playing against each other with only the national championship, on the line. And not only that, I mean, if you win, you get to say, hey, I beat the other guy head to head when it comes to the draft. So, there's a lot in the line because the loser probably ends up getting drafted by the New York Jets. And that says a lot. Nobody wants that. So, let's see. RC says, Tyler out of the loop. Oh, yeah, he was out of it. Ansem says, I'll say 7.5. I think the second half will be cinema. I think so, too. I think the fourth quarter is going to be incredible as well. So, what I do know is that if you're Ole Miss, you don't want to be trailing late in the fourth quarter because they're having such a hard time at tackling these power running backs that the Miami Hurricanes possess. They're struggling with that. And also, you don't want Miami in those situations where they know that you have to pass. You want to still be able to, utilize, mix up the run, be comfortable offensively there. So it's going to be very important when they come out, in that third quarter, that they don't let Miami just go down there, drive and score, and make this a 24-13 type of game. That's not what you want if you're Ole Miss. You want to go out there, get a stop, get the fullback, and have your defense play a little bit more better in terms of getting them off the field quicker. we are currently right now here at halftime in this one. A whole second half left to go. And man, this game has already shown us some crazy stuff. Because that run by Lacey, that's exactly what Ole Miss needed in this game there. Because I was getting concerned. I was like, are they going to be able to move the ball here? How? But that was big. That was big. I feel like the first team to actually turn the ball over in this game will be the team to lose. Whoever goes out there and turn the ball over. All right, but give JB 1 second. I will be right back. So yeah, I'll be right back in 1 minute. JB is back. So let's see. Kenneth says, what NFL games am I going to be doing for everyone? So, yeah, so as of right now, I haven't quite decided yet which game I'm going to do Saturday. I told myself I'll do Saturday, see how I feel, because that'll be like, consecutive. I streamed yesterday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday also. So I will do one on Saturday. Let's see. Do you guys have any preference for any of the games that come on Saturday? I'm probably going to most likely end up doing the Bears and the Packers game. That's probably going to end up being the one that I end up doing. I think that one makes the most sense there because obviously I know Lewis, Chicago Bears fan, Braden Packers fan. It's going to be a good game there, so I may end up doing the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. But I told myself I'll just wait until after the Friday game and just make sure I've got the energy for another back-to-back-to-back stream and such. All right, let's see. All right, so RC said Tua turn the ball over. And so, hey, that's what he's been doing. That's what he's been doing. And RC said, JB, you got to give the people at least one NFL game. And so, yeah, I plan on doing that. I plan on doing that. I do plan on doing that. Because I was like, college football season's winding down. So I definitely want to get both of the college football playoff matchups for this week. All right, let's see. So yeah, I'm thinking the Packers and the Bears make the most sense for that matchup. And then after that game, I will just wait and see how things go in terms of Sunday, but I'll probably need at least one day off before work. But man, based upon how this game is going, does everybody feel confident in how they projected this game to play out? So those of you Hurricane fans, you're still feeling good right now. Any concerns? And if you're rooting for Ole Miss, are you concerned right now? How concerned are you? Do you like what you saw in the first half? You know what? I had not noticed that Lacey had not played since that touchdown run earlier. That's big because they're going to need him, but that hamstring start acting up, it's a whole different thing. But yeah, tomorrow's game, Friday night, Oregon, Indiana. Gonna be looking forward to that matchup there. That one, it'll be a nice matchup there. I will be rooting for Indiana in that one. Made up my mind. I'll be rooting for Indiana. Because I mean, you like to see it. I feel like they're out there. They're a great team. This is a program that it wasn't like they were expected to do anything great 2 3 years ago, and now look at them on the cusp of potentially getting to the championship game. All right, again, still here, just waiting on the start of the second half. This game sure has had its share of game stops. Like, I'm just saying, we've seen our good share of commercials. I saw that the Tennessee Titans I mean, they're basically interviewing just about anybody at this point, it feels like. But Arthur Smith, who was like an offensive coordinator at one point in time for the Tennessee Titans, they're considering, him as well. I feel like every candidate out there, Tennessee's like, hey, we're interested in at least having a conversation. And I guess when your team's that bad, you got to have a lot of conversations. But yeah, if you're Tennessee, Tennessee's got a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do. All right, again, we're still just waiting for the start of the second half to begin. Which would you guys rather see happen? Would you guys rather see Mike McDaniels end up the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, or would you rather see Mike McDaniels possibly end up being the offensive coordinator for a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Which one would be, I guess, better in the sense of like you feel like he can do like have that team more competitive? Like if he were to go to Tampa Bay with all the receivers they've got, Baker Mayfield, the running backs they've got, or go to Detroit, which one would you guys prefer to see? Mr. Kenneth said, I was just reading about a friend is in bad shape and had my brother give me my late Christmas present today. And so sorry to hear about the friend that's in bad shape there. Hopefully your friend gets better. But hey, a late Christmas present, that sounds nice there. That sounds real nice. Real nice. Who's the older brother? Are you, I mean, like I said, older brother. Who's older, you or your brother? All right, 17-13. The score in this one. Can Miami find a way in the second half there to go out there, keep momentum going, keep doing exactly what you did in the first half, especially the first quarter? Meanwhile, for Ole Miss, you've got to come out and you have got to really turn it on in the second half, in which we've seen them do that this season. So we're going to see. And so you say your brother's about to be 43 years old? Okay, okay. Nice, 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 nice. Is it just the two of you in terms of siblings or any other siblings? All right, again, just waiting for the second half to get started in this one. All right, Kenneth says just the two of y'all. Okay, okay, so just like JB and JB's brother, just the two of us. Okay. All right, Lewis says, how about the Indiana Pacers money line? Plus 300 comes through 100, minus 300 there. And so, oh yeah, oh yeah. See, Lewis knows how to shop for these lines. And Lewis says, let's go Ole Miss. So Lewis is saying, come on, guys, let's go make that money for him. Because right now that's combined for what, 30 points there? So if you get another half like what we saw in the first half, shoot, Lewis will be good to go. He will be good to go. But the third quarter is going to be so important here because I feel like I feel like this first possession is going to tell me a lot of what to expect here, at least for most of the second half. If Miami goes down there and they end up scoring, or like even if it's a field goal, they move the ball the way they did in the first half there. Yeah, Ole Miss is going to have to find a way defensively to get these guys off the field because Miami's having long drives. But again, just awaiting for this game to get back going in the second half. Let's see, where is Old Man? And so, yeah, that's a great question. In terms of my knowledge, I do know that Old Man has to get up at like 3 a.m. in the morning for his job there. So I'm pretty sure that means that he goes to sleep a lot earlier now. So that's why we haven't seen too much of Old Man as of late. And as for Black Medicine, no idea, but I did speak with him earlier today, but no idea where he's at currently right now. But yeah, tomorrow's matchup, Hoosiers versus the Ducks. A team in Oregon in which, when you think about the Oregon Ducks over the years, they've had success, like they've had big time runs, but it always ends up falling short, irregardless the era. Whether we're talking about the year that they had Marcus Mariota back there with those Oregon Ducks and they fell short, Ohio State beat them with Cordell Jones, or just, more recent years, like they've had great quarterbacks come through, but just not able to win, whether it's Bo Nix, whether it's, Dylan Gabriel, regardless of who the quarterback is for the Oregon Ducks, they just fall short of their goals. So I know that they're going to come out and try to give it everything that they've got tomorrow, especially knowing that Indiana beat them earlier and it's a chance to avenge themselves. So it's going to be a good one. Can Dante Moore elevate above the rest? Let's see. Lewis says Oregon versus Indiana under 50.5. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a wrap there. That's gonna be a wrap. Let's see, the first time they played it was what, 31-20? Okay, okay. All right, again, we are still at half. Does this feel like a long halftime or is it just JB? This feels like a very long halftime right now. I'm like, can we please get back to the action now? Yeah, this does feel like a rather long halftime. Let's see. Meanwhile, Lewis, were you on the stream that time when 80s came through? Lewis. Let's see, Kenneth there with the link. And Lewis says no shades tonight. And so, yeah, no shades tonight, Lewis. My eye at that time was just experiencing a lot of, sensitivity to light. So that's why I had to wear the shades that time. And that lasted honestly probably from around the time New Year's struck, about 30 minutes before New Year's struck until maybe, I don't know, this past Sunday. So during that time period, it was like my eyes were just really sensitive to light. So looking at the computer monitors was extremely hard to do during that time. And so, but luckily past that, and you say you wasn't on that one there. And so, yeah, 80s came through. And so it was great to see him. It was great to see him. He said that he had been, in the hospital for a good minute. So definitely glad to see the 80s was feeling better. But yeah, seeing 80s was great. Let's see, Lewis says 80s coming out for the playoffs, right? Right, because I know when Halloween came, I know that that's one of 80's favorite holidays, it's Halloween. So I was definitely looking at that time to see, like, okay, is he going to show up around Halloween and stuff? Because he loves to scare the kids. He loves to scare the kids. And so, Yeah, but it was great to see him come through. Great to see him come through. And so Kenneth says you dropped the link of your friend's channel, and it's called Shady Lanes Homes channel. And so everyone, if you want to come and subscribe to his channel, and again, he's got the link right there. And I'll go ahead and put a star on the link there for anybody that's looking right now. I'm going ahead and put the star there on the link shared by Kenneth. So if anybody's trying to find it in the chat, it's got the star right next to it. Appreciate that, Kenneth. All right, so it looks like we are finally about to get the third quarter back on the way, guys. It's about time. And again, the Miami Hurricanes, they will get the football here first. So they'll have an opportunity to try to expand upon their 17-13 lead that they have right now. Let's see, Kim says he's got 293 subscribers so far there. So yeah, if we can get him to 300, that would be great. That would be great there. But 293, that's good. That's good. JB remembers when I was at about that, almost 300 mark there. And I really feel like once I exceeded 400, that is when like everything started to expedite. Or maybe I was just posting a lot more videos at that time. But it's like, okay, you can sense like I'm almost halfway to that 1K mark. And the dream becomes a little bit clearer at that point too. Ole Miss kicks the ball off. No return by the Miami Hurricanes, so they'll take over from their own 25-yard line, leading this one 17-13 here to start off the third quarter. And let's see what Carson Beck and company have in store for us here on this drive. Now, this is the kind of team where they are fully capable of taking 7-8 minutes off the clock on a long drive and finish it with a touchdown. They are fully capable of that. And as they've shown, they can also score quickly on the deep pass too. So there's multiple ways they can hit you. So Ole Miss better come out ready for what's about to take place. All right, so now you got 1st and 10 for their own 25-yard line. So run play. And Mark Fletcher Jr. is going to pick up about a good 4 yards there on the carry. And again, you must do your homework early in this matchup. You must do it early in this matchup. If you're Ole Miss, don't let Miami get in 2nd and 3rd and short situations because Miami will convert those more times than not. All right, so they're going to say 2nd and 7 here. See what the Hurricanes call here on 2nd down. Carson Beck looking, throws it. Incomplete. And that is actually really good coverage right there. Because usually when he made that pass in the first half, the receiver's been all by himself. But this time, the DB is sticking with him. All right, so we got 3rd down coming up here. Can Ole Miss get an early stop and get their defense off the field? This is critical for them. So on 3rd and 7, Carson Beck making adjustments here. 3 seconds on the play clock. Gets the snap, quick pass caught there by Tooney. And Tooney, he knows what to do. You want to talk about yak. He knows exactly what to do. Takes it to about the 47-yard line. That's a big pickup there. And it makes life so much more easier as a quarterback. And you can just throw the ball out quickly, get it to your playmaker, and your playmaker make plays like that. I mean, look at that. Quick pass there. Your blockers get out in front. Receiver makes the play. Ole Miss has got to find a way to cut those out. They're just going to have to find a way. Beck looking. Beck going deep. And it is incomplete. Incomplete. Beck tried to lead him there. Incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see. Samuel says, hey, Josh, you said, oh, no, your subscribers. You lost a subscriber there, Samuel? And you said you got 102 subscribers? Well, if it makes you feel any better there, Samuel, JB loses subscribers, all the time. When I say all the time, all the time. I remember when I first got started, it'd be so frustrating because you would see like okay, I'm building, and it's like, oh no, someone unsubscribed. And so, but the good thing is you will gain a lot more, than the amount of people that unsubscribe, throughout time. So, oh man, look at that. Look, I'm about to say, is his feet even on the ground at this point? The offensive line with the push. That's a major push. Them boys up front, they are moving the Rebels. I thought I was going to have to lend one of those defenders an anchor or something like that to help them bring this guy down. But look at that, the pushing, the moving of the legs, the fight. Mark Fletcher Jr. leaving it all on the field. And that'll make any coach happy right there, because that means your offensive line, they are fighting. Ole Miss is getting moved off the line, and it is oh so evident. And you will not beat this team if you cannot stop the run. But it's a flea flicker. And he gets to Carson Beck, who throws it up there, and it goes out of bounds there. But excellent job there by the defense. Let's see, Kenneth says the Chiefs fired their coach. Oh, really? Let's see. Let's see. Lewis says, "Where's Rhino?" And so my man is always live, so I would be shocked if he's not live at this time. First, he said, "JB, I'm back again. Welcome back. Welcome back." All right, so 2nd and 22nd is now what we're looking at there. So just when it was looking like, okay, Miami's about to do something big there, all of a sudden things go against them there. So how do you respond while facing adversity here? Let's find out. All right, so it's a run play here. And oh my goodness, look at Mark Fletcher Jr. again. Oh, Miss, what is y'all doing? What is y'all doing? Look at this. It ain't, I mean, I shouldn't say it ain't that hard, because clearly it is hard, but look at this. Like, nobody's touching this man until he's about 10 yards down the field, at least. Wow. As Kenneth says that he is live. And so, yeah, the man that never stops live streaming. All right, so we got 3rd and 8 right now. And again, the Hurricanes are converting at a 60% percentage right now on 3rd downs. Beck looking, Beck throws it, and it's incomplete. Incomplete. And so that is a welcome sight right there for Ole Miss. They will certainly take that incompletion. RC says JB is live right now. RC tells no lies. And now he says he meant that Rhino is live right now. Oh man, we're both live. All right, so Carter Davis with a 51-yard field goal attempt coming up here. Kick is on the way, and the kick, it is no good. No good. So we remember against A&M where, these kicking problems showed its ugly head, but now here it is again as he missed the field goal right. So now if you're Ole Miss, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity right now. Let's see, Kenneth says he has 295 subs now. And so, okay. Let's keep that number going up. Let's see. RC said, JB, there's been some scoring done this game, a bit of it. And so, yeah, there's been some scoring now. There has been, but that missed field goal right there, will that be something that later on ends up costing Miami? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. But now it's all about Ole Miss. Can they capitalize on this opportunity? And something tells me that they better capitalize on this opportunity, because their defense right now, it's going to be a struggle the rest of the way to stop the Hurricanes from being able to run that ball. And clearly tackling is not something that's forefront of mind right now for Ole Miss. So they're got to go out there offensively, come away with something, preferably a touchdown. That would be nice, but come away with some points here for themselves. Wait a minute. So the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls game has been postponed due to condensation on the court? That's wild. That's wild. All right, so RC says, JB, what matters the most? Consistency, posting content, making enough variety of content, or stacking subs and likes and views up super, super high. And so I will say that of the stuff that that you mentioned there, you know, it comes down to consistency. Consistency when posting content matters the most. Because when I first got started, I was not, quite to the level that I am now. I was, a lot more, figuring things out. But because of how much I was posting, videos with like sport news and stuff, or just prediction videos, whatever it was, because of how consistent I was, that's how I was able to come across the people. Because you never know which video is going to reach what person. So consistency is very important. The variety of the content, as long as you focus on what you're passionate about, that's what's going to matter. That's what's going to attract the people to you there. And then when it comes to stacking up the subs and the likes, hey, I've seen people try to buy, ads to where their account, is shown more. They get subs, but then the subs are gone so easy. They never stick. So it really comes down to consistency with the posting. Everything else will come, but that's the most important. That's the foundation of it. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. And oh, what a hit. Oh my goodness. And the fact that the kid got up after that. Okay, but man, big time play by Mr. Lee. I like it, Rebels. Get to the line here. Let's get some momentum going. I like it. Receiver goes in motion here. Fakes to the back. Oh, he almost threw a pick. This is the second time today he don't did that. He is playing with destiny right now. Oh my goodness. I'm all about speeding up, but if speeding up is going to make him make the wrong read, then by all means, slow down. Lewis says, come on, go deep. You know what? It's like they're not even thinking about that right now. All right, 2nd and 10. Throws it. Oh, incomplete. 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 I don't even know which receiver that was intended for at that point. That was a terrible throw. When I said speed things up, I did not mean for him to get to the point where he's just looking panicky right now. Lewis says, never mind. He says, never mind. Lewis says to subscribe to his channel, guys. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 10 right now for the Rebels. Pressure's coming. Throws one. And oh my goodness, he tried to thread the needle. That was a Brett Favre type of pass right there. And the thing is, it got to his receiver, but then his receiver lays it into the hand of the DB. And these DBs are just dropping passes left and right. These Hurricanes could have had about 3 interceptions already, but they just cannot secure it. I wonder, will they let the game slip away the same way they're letting these footballs slip away? But now, a field goal attempt here. 52-yarder. He showed us he can make a 58-yarder. Battle of the kickers. Kick is up. And the kick. He doinks it. And it's no good. It's no good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was wondering if we were going to see the double doink that time, but he missed it. That one's got to hurt. That one's got to hurt. He's got the leg, but man, that's one he wants back. That hurts. So a golden opportunity for Ole Miss turns into a missed field goal. And when we come back, we're going to see the Miami Hurricanes here with another opportunity to go out there, ground and pound, all that stuff. But they're leaving points on the table. Let's see, I said, JB, man, brother, that Illinois State versus Montana State football game ending was everything. He says it was everything. And so Lewis is like, what? He can't believe it. He cannot believe it. I mean, right now, Lewis is like, you know what? Screw it. Just get some points right now. Both teams get some points because he's going to need some points now. We can't be having both these teams missing field goals like that. That's 6 points left on the table. All right, but again, we are here in the third quarter with the score still right now, Miami 17, Ole Miss 13. We got about 10 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the third quarter of play. And right now, those Miami Hurricanes, Fletcher, he's already got 84 yards rushing right now. Carson Beck's got 175 yards passing. They are moving. But if they come in the end zone, look out. Look out. But again, we're currently at the commercial here. Ole Miss missed the field goal, and prior to that, the Miami Hurricanes, they missed their field goal attempt as well. But Miami has the football back, up 4 points, looking to add to that lead to try to secure their trip to the national championship. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, but you know what though? I do feel like if someone comes to YouTube as a content creator just hunting for a big bag, they're going to end up likely you're truly disappointed. And so, matter of fact, yeah, that's what it is, because when they come in with expectations, doing it for the money, it's just not going to be there. The way the YouTube is set up there, they're set up for consistency and to reward those over time, but you're not going to be able to get it if you're in it for the money there. Because first of all, it's going to be some years of you just not making a lot of money. Meanwhile, Carson Beck scrambles, picks up maybe a yard or two on that run. Second down coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. Again, leading this one 17-13 here in the third quarter with about 10:40 to go in the third. And so you say, take the U out before disappointed. And so, but yeah, that's honestly the truth there. That's honestly the truth. In fact, you'd probably be better off if it's about the money doing something else on a platform like Twitch that probably can get you money faster and also, bring that audience over. Because I feel like those who establish themselves in other, platforms, then transfer over to YouTube, they have a quicker path when it comes to, in terms of the revenue aspect. All right, so we got 3rd and 5 coming up here in the third quarter, 10 minutes to go. 3rd and 5 coming up. Yeah, receiver goes in motion. Back. On the move. Back. Running back. Gets the first down. He is so good at that. He gets the first down, goes out of bounds there. And so the Hurricanes move the chains. I mean, they pick up so many first downs soon. We're just going to call them the Hurricanes at this point. And look at that. Tackles taking position, take the tackles on that play and throughout this game do a tremendous job of allowing Beck to step up and have a lane to even run through when needed. All right, 1st and 10. Mark Fletcher Jr. on the carry. Nice pickup on that one, about a good 5 yards in the play. And this is what Miami does. This is what Miami does. So when you're playing a team like Miami, you got to be able to do your work early on 1st down, not make mistakes, and simply tackle. Let's see. RC says you've been modding for JB since 1899. Who imagine what modding would have been like back then? All right, so now another carry, picks up about 2 yards there. So now you got 3rd down coming up here. 3rd down, 3rd and short. So many ways that Miami likes to attack you in these short yardage situations here. 3rd and 3 coming up for the Miami Hurricanes. Again, here in the 3rd quarter, about 8:15 to go. Run play and gets the 1st down with Brown. Again, they continuously break the defense down time and time and time again with this rotation in the backfield. Plus, you add the offensive line there. This is a lot. A team like Ole Miss, this is a lot for them to have to continuously go up against. Their offensive line has been winning that battle all game long. So now 1st and 10. For the Miami Hurricanes, ball at about the 39-yard line of Ole Miss. So run play right up the middle, picks up about 3 yards there, 2-3 yards. 2nd down coming up. Kenneth says, RC, we're not born in 1899. Do you mean 1999 mod? And so Kenneth RC is just joking around there. He intentionally put that 1899. I know RC very well. All right, 2nd and 7 here. For Miami Hurricanes, Tooney goes in motion. Oh, there's a flag. And if you're Miami, that's the one thing that could really mess you up there is having penalties put you back. Because they're moving the ball. They're moving the ball. You just got to make sure you don't make the mistakes that make it harder than it has to be. And that penalty right there was a big one. So now 2nd and 13. With about 6 minutes and 35 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Again, Miami up 17-13. Ball at the 42-yard line of Ole Miss. Shotgun formation for the Hurricanes. Tight end goes in motion. Snaps the ball. Carson Beck throws it. Oh, he dropped it. He was thinking about what he was going to do with the football and ended up dropping the ball for the Miami Hurricanes. So now, this is a very rare occasion here to see Miami Hurricanes in this game with a 3rd and long. But if you are Ole Miss, you've got to be prepared for the first guy to make the tackle. Because Miami, they don't mind throwing it short. You have got to be ready to make that tackle. And if they do choose to go deep, don't get a man 15 yards in between you and the next defender. All right, here we go. 3rd and 13. Beck, feeling the pressure. Beck for the run. Beck running. And he's going to be a yard short. You got to come up and you got to hit Carson Beck if you're going to come up and hit him. Because when he knows that he has to go the distance to get a 1st down, he's not looking to just pull up and give up. He's going to make you have to bring him down before that 1st down marker. Look at that. You're supposed to be the spy. You got pulled up that close. And now look at it. 4th and 2. They're going to go for it. RC said, JB, why are we the only 2 content creators in a row who never post our cash apps? You said you never noticed this? Meanwhile, Hurricanes easily get the 1st down. What are you doing, Ole Miss? What are you doing? I actually have mine like in the subscription of the I'm sorry, description of the channel information stuff like that. But it's somewhere buried down there if somebody were to actually like just read through it and stuff. But yeah, I try not to, mention anything like that in the stream. I feel like if I had a Twitch, that would be easier because then I could just put like the amount up there, but YouTube won't let me do that the way that I tried to set it up when I was doing both Twitch and that. Meanwhile, Brown picks up about a good 5 yards on the play. Let's see. RC said Kenneth is called Vampire Hours. Say Dracula Centuries. Let's see. Kenneth said maybe we needed to make JB a Discord. Now there's an idea. And then Samuel says, good, okay, Ole Miss team next time playoffs. So you're saying the next time you'll get them, Samuel? All right, 2nd and 7 right now for the Miami Hurricanes. They are officially in that red zone at the 19-yard line. Tooney goes in motion. It's a run play here by Brown, and Brown's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. But yeah, I know that the defense for Ole Miss has got to be feeling tired right now. That fatigue's got to be kicking in. That's why on this upcoming 3rd down, they have got to find a way to get off the field here. You got 3rd and 7 at the 19-yard line. You've got to watch the speed of these receivers. Also, keep an eye on Carson Beck because he certainly can pick up 7 yards using his leg. No problem there. So let's see what they call here on 3rd and 7. Might be a time to just bring a blitz here and get to that. Might be your best bet. All right, here we go. 3rd and 7 for the Miami Hurricanes. Oh, wait a minute. There is a flag. There, once again, another flag here against the Miami Hurricanes to back them up once again. And I mean, if they just stay focused, they're doing a great job on the field, but these penalties keep making life harder and harder than it has to be. But right now, if you're Ole Miss, you've seen this story so many times. You drop guys back in coverage. Carson Beck takes off and run. He probably picks up 10 yards. Then they go for it on 4th and 2. You got to keep them from getting too close to where they'll go for it on 4th down. Because quite frankly, that offensive line is having its way out there against this defense. So right now, if you're Ole Miss, you've got to take advantage of this 3rd and 12 right now. You don't want to be down 2 scores in this game. Ball deflected. Picked off. It is picked off. So just like that, they're given a golden opportunity. The ball bounces in the air into the arms of the defender. Wow. Wow. Just what the doctor ordered. How about that? The first turnover of the game, and so Ole Miss catches a break. Nice clean interception there, nice catch. And let's see. It all starts with the D lineman putting a hand up there, deflecting it, then a nice clean interception there by Ole Miss here in the 3rd quarter with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to go. Will they score the first points of the 2nd half? We're still waiting on the first points here in this quarter. Let's see. RC says, JB, we lost 74-69 to Ole Miss women's basketball team. And so, oh man, RC, we're is Ole Miss women's basketball team ranked? What's their record like? And as for Ole Miss, I don't know what's going on with Lacey in terms of the fact that, 2 carries, 75 yards, but it's been a minute since we've seen him. Don't know how that hamstring is holding out. But if that hamstring is good to go, now is a good time to test it out and see if he can provide another spark for him. And again, we are at the commercial here. with about 3 minutes and 19 seconds left to go here in the third quarter of play. And again, nobody has scored yet since halftime. All right, let's see. Kenneth says, do we see any upsets in the NFL playoffs this weekend? There's always going to be an upset, I feel like, especially considering how close these teams really are. Upsets certainly can happen. You know, I can see the 49ers, if that's considered an upset for them to beat the Eagles. I can see that path of that. You know, I can see the Packers, if they're healthy, I can see them getting a potential upset. Buffalo, I mean, just having Josh Allen gives you a chance at something like an upset there. So can there be an upset? There could be. Chargers, they realistically could provide an upset. So there's quite a few. There's quite a few. Let's see, RC says, Carson Wentz, I mean Beck. And you say that wasn't a typo either. Oh, man. Very, very different, but at the same time, I guess in this situation, too similar for comfort. But man, that's just how football is. Sometimes just getting a hand up and deflecting the ball can completely change the trajectory of the game. You say Ole Miss is a ranked team, they're 15-3. Okay. Okay. All right, meanwhile, here we go. Throws the ball, gets the completion, shakes off the first defender, takes it all the way to about the 30-yard line. So that's a big-time reception there. That's what you like to see. The guys are starting to feel confident. They're starting to be like, hey, we got this. And right now, if you're Miami, you're thinking about what could have been. You had about 3 potential interceptions that you guys just flat out dropped, you know, and then the pass by Carson Beck, ball deflected, so I'm not going to blame Carson Beck for that one, but man, that didn't help at all. You're dominating the line of scrimmage, but penalties, you're hurting yourself. So many things. Steps up. Going deep. This one's for Lewis. Oh, he dropped another potential interception. Oh my goodness, while he do it with no hands. Playing DB with no hands. My man out here bubbling stuff, man. Like, I don't believe this. He literally must have took the under on his own interception prop before this game. There's no other way to say it. Because look at this. The ball, he's at 24 don't had about 2 shots at an interception himself. Better yet, the Hurricanes don't have 4 chances and just dropped all of them. Gets to the receiver. Receiver makes the catch. Receiver gets the first down. Picked up about 12, 13 yards on the reception. So first down for Ole Miss here in the third quarter with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Lewis is like, come on, guys, score. He's like, let's get a touchdown. Let's score. 1st and 10. On their own 44, fakes to the back, on the move, throws it. Gets it to his receiver on the sideline there. That time he had to really put his arm into it to get it there, but that was a catch. 2:02 to go. And again, in college, you just need 1 foot, and you got 2 feet in there. Secured the catch. All right, 2nd down, about 1 minute and 50 seconds left to go here in the third quarter of play. Ole Miss, they are now officially at midfield here. 3 receivers top of the screen here. Quick pass to the receiver. And Lee running. Lee. Nice pickup there and a first down. Ole Miss is moving the ball right now. They actually look comfortable right now on the field offensively. And that's a sign that this offense has officially arrived. And Lewis is like, he doesn't give a crap about comfort. He cares about scoring right now. All right, so this time we got the running back at the top of the screen here. Let's see what they're going to end up calling here. Throws one to the sideline, incomplete. You got 2nd and 10 right now here in the third quarter play with 1 minute and 13 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. I'm looking at these Miami Hurricane linemen. I see that they're breathing a little hard there. So Ole Miss is doing something right. You got to keep applying pressure on that defense. Tire them out. That'll slow down that pass rush. Throws one up there. Incomplete. 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 Seems like every time he throws the ball, trying to catch something deep, there's two defenders in the area playing good coverage. All right, so we got a 3rd and 10 coming up right now for the Rebels. Got to find a way to convert here on 1st down. They are 0 for 6 today on 3rd downs. Looking, moving, and brought down around the line of scrimmage. So that's actually going to be a sack for a loss of about half a yard there. Excellent job there by the Miami defense to shut that down. You're just not going to be able to go out there and run like that against this Hurricane defense. It's just not going to happen. But at least getting back to the line of scrimmage, you give your kicker a chance. He is 2 of 3 for the night. This time it's going to be a 54-yarder. We know he's got the leg for it. Just got to make sure not to doink it this time. Kick is up, and the kick, he dunked it again, but this time it's good. Oh my goodness. Have I ever seen a kicker doink it twice in a game? I mean, he clearly has a spot that he's aiming for. But this time it fell in. Wow. 17-16 is the score right now. And look at that. It doinked, but this time it went in. Even the referee smiled a little bit. But he got it. He got it. I sure hope they don't have to ask this kid for a game winner. Lewis is like, I did not sign up for field goals. Lewis is like, he did not sign up for field goals. But guys, just like that, the score right now, Miami 17, Ole Miss 16. Here in the 3rd quarter, just 22 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter right now. But both of these teams right now, especially the Miami Hurricanes, you got to be thinking about all the opportunities that you had to really, if you're Miami, they could have been up by 2 scores at one point in time, but penalties, you know, the turnover right there by Carson Beck, which was not Carson Beck's fault really, but still turnover there, and just allowing Ole Miss to stay around. If you're Ole Miss, you understand, like, hey, defensively, we got to get after it and do our work early on in the downs here, because Miami has shown the way that they're running the ball. Mark Fletcher Jr. already has 95 yards rushing. Brown is hard to bring down. Hard to bring down. This is really going to test the depth of that defensive line for Ole Miss to be able to get stops there and prevent these runs from breaking out into 8-yard runs, 9-yard runs, 20-yard runs, and stuff like that. So this is going to be a true test, but I like it. I like it. 4th quarter is going to come down to probably conditioning on both of these defenses because they're exhausted. Kenneth said, we got some points in this quarter. Right. Good call out there, Kenneth. We got 3 points in this quarter. Now, if you guys remember, in the 1st quarter, Miami was the only team to score, and they had scored 3 points. So now here in the 3rd quarter, Ole Miss has scored 3 points, but who's going to win this 4th quarter? That's what's ultimately probably going to come down to. It could be battle of the kickers if both of these guys get another opportunity. You just never know. But what I do know is that we got ourselves a game. And the winner of this game goes on to the championship round, guys. 1 quarter left. Mr. JB says, come on, Miami. Oh, man. But when we come back, we're going to see just what the Miami Hurricanes can do. Because they've been able to move the ball. That's one thing that's been consistent in this game. They have no problem moving the ball, but you've got to finish and capitalize. That's been the problem for the Miami Hurricanes, that they have to finish the plays. And let's talk about those 4 interceptions that Miami could have had in this game, and they dropped every single opportunity to turn this ball over. I'm talking about Chambliss could have had 4 interceptions to his name if the Hurricanes actually had decent hands on defense. So, but you let a team hang around, look out. Look out. We saw what Ole Miss did in the 4th quarter last week. So we're in for a treat here. I honestly can't tell you which way this game's going to go. The way it's been going, I cannot tell you which way this game's going to go. And so, what's good? You say, come on, the Rebels. Okay. Love it. Love it. Love it. Someone else here in the chat here for the Rebels. And what's good with you? But what a game it has been. Football is about capitalizing on opportunities. Kickoff on the way. No return here for the Miami Hurricanes. And so with 22 seconds left to go here in the third quarter play, again, the score right now, Hurricanes 17, Rebels 16 right now. Let's see offense versus defense. Who goes out there and wins this battle? Let's see. Kenneth says, for what college football players in the game there? And so, oh man, like you want to know some of the players in the game in this one? I mean, let's see. I see that Lacey, they have not really been running him ever since that big 75-yard run there for Ole Miss. So his hamstring must really be bad. But you've got Lacey there. You've got for Ole Miss a quarterback Chambliss right now. For the Miami Hurricanes, Carson Beck, 175 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Mark Fletcher Jr., 95 yards rushing for the Hurricanes. Looking to add to it on this play, and he does. He's over the century mark, but look at that. How many yards is that? Did he even step out of bounds at any point? I mean, I'm here thinking, all right, he's about to step out of bounds. He's about to step out of bounds. But no, Mark Fletcher with a big pickup on that one there. Now he's got 18 carries for $110 in this one, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. And at the end of the third quarter right there, the Hurricanes with the ball at their own 40-yard line, leading this one 17-16 right now, and 1 quarter remaining. Win this fourth quarter, you win the game. It's that simple. Win this fourth quarter, you win the game. All right, let's see. RC said, great play-by-play, JB. I appreciate that. You say I don't foresee overtime, though. Not with this one. And so in order for it to go to, I don't see it going to overtime either. I can see it coming down to the last couple seconds, but I don't foresee overtime. But hey, if it does, we'd have some JBOT. And so let's see. What else says, JB, who will be your #1 pick, Mendoza or Moore? And so for me personally, and the stuff that I look for, the intangibles that I look for, as of right now, I would lean towards Mendoza because I feel like there are some traits that you just can't measure that a quarterback has to have. And I feel like he's a smart kid, but he's got to be in a system in which, you got to have some pieces around him. He's not going to go out there and carry, some scrubs to the playoffs and stuff like that. He's not about to take a team like, what Buffalo has a receiver and take them to the playoffs. No, you've got to build around him, but he is certainly capable if you give him the pieces to go out there and perform. Now, I like Moore also, but if I'm picking #1 and I'm the Raiders, I'm taking Mendoza specifically of the two. That's what I would do. But what about you? That's your RC says UCLA ranked #4, Oklahoma #5. You said ranked in Iowa 14, but you think Oklahoma will drop since they lost tonight. And again, right now, guys, not missing anything. We're currently at the end of the third quarter in this one. And so, hey, these defenses, they're going to have it's going to be tough in the fourth quarter for these defenses. So we're going to see who wants it more. Let's see. Samuel says, hey, Josh, you said tomorrow bad weather, severe thunderstorms. And so, yeah, hey, gotta be careful out there. Gotta be careful out there for sure. All right, he said, JB, who you think Shador's next head coach will be in the land? And so, I mean, honestly, I feel like for Mike McDaniels, this is his only shot at really landing a head coaching job is if he ends up securing that Cleveland Browns job. If that ends up being the case there, I can see that being the case because then you have a guy that's a great offensive mind there, can help, see what Shador got, see what he got, bring in another quarterback, evaluate them. But if Cleveland really cares about that offensive side of the room, that might be someone that you consider. Personally, though, I think it'd be pretty cool to see Mike McDaniels as the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. But if he's going to land a head coaching job, it will be down in Cleveland. So I'll say that for now. And so, Mike, what's good? Mike says, shout out JB. And he says, go Miami in this one. What's good with you, Mike? RC said, I really need for my Cowboys to draft a trade or sign a damn stud running back. JB said, that's something I forgot to bring up yesterday. And so I know before this year, I would have projected, that running back from Notre Dame, your boy from Notre Dame, Love would have been an excellent choice. But we'll see. We'll see what the Cowboys end up doing at that spot. There's a lot of needs that they need to fill. All right, so here we go back to the action to start the fourth quarter here. From their own 40-yard line, the Miami Hurricanes in shotgun formation. Tooney goes in motion. Quick pass to Tooney. And Tooney runs by the first defender and picks up the first down with ease. He makes it look so easy. You know, he makes it look so easy. This kid is extremely talented. Extremely talented. If I was a quarterback, like just period, but especially if I was someone like Cam Ward, I'd be like, hey, find a way to get me a guy like him. Let's see, Mike says, are any of these quarterbacks legit or just management QBs? And so I would say, in all honesty, if we're talking about at the NFL level, then yeah, that would not be like a legit prospect. Although Carson Beck would be of interest because of his experience and stuff, but that would be up under the game manager level. And so, yeah, these would be two. Now, Chambliss, I like some of the intangibles that he does have, you know, in terms of at this level, but I'd say game managers. Any Mays out there? Yeah, not on this field. Not on this field. But try tomorrow when we stream tomorrow's game, Oregon versus Indiana, which your boy will be going live for that one. We'll evaluate those quarterbacks because those may be the ones that could potentially reach that pedigree. But on 2nd and 7, Carson Beck gets brought down for the sack. That's a big time sack. That's a big time sack, and that's exactly what Ole Miss needed to do to create 3rd and long. So now you look at that. And so Mark Fletcher Jr., that's on him. That's his job and responsibility to go out there and to essentially make that block. Or said, JB, any thoughts on the crazy dumb Trae Young trade? You said the Wizards. I mean, honestly, I feel like, you know, the Wizards, this is what they do. They will and deal like that. So him ending up on the Wizards is not surprising there. Go there. He's going to want to make some money. He will make some money. Speaking of making money, the defense line is like, hey, don't forget about us. Carson Beck brought down again. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. And you know what? This is perfect timing right now for Ole Miss, for that defensive line to finally start getting to Carson Beck and bringing him down. Because how many times have we saw the Miami Hurricanes in this college football playoffs, Carson Beck steps up and then he's able to run, pick up 7 to 12 yards on the run. But this time, that defense is closing. They're hungry. They're feeling it. 4th and 20 for the Hurricanes, and they punt the ball. All right, so now they're going to start off deep within their own territory here at the 10-yard line. So offensively here for Ole Miss, can you get a couple first downs here and get some momentum going here since you're starting off deep within your own territory? RC said, I keep hearing Brian Flores for the Browns, but you could be way off there. And so I think Brian Flores would be a good fit for a team like the Raiders, in all honesty. I feel like that's where I would like to see him go and be a head coach at a team like the Raiders. I feel like the Raiders need him to come in there, give this defense an identity, you know, change the defense in which he has shown twice, you know, whether he's the head coach, defensive coordinator, that he will improve the defense within 2 years. So that's what I would like to see for the Raiders. Just help them out because they have a lot of holes there. So that's where I would like to see him go. But if he went to Cleveland, though, hey, look out. Cleveland's already got some pieces, some dogs on that defense. And so let's see what else says. JB, what's your thoughts on the Jaguars run this season? In all honesty, I'm going to say this. You know, at first, JB was not a believer. It took me a while to get on the hype train of like, okay, they're good. But it's just something that clicked for Trevor Lawrence. And you never know when that's going to happen for a quarterback where all of a sudden the game slows down further. You know, we know Trevor Lawrence came in out of Clemson, high potential, but how many times do we see kids come in and it's like, hey, they don't reach their potential? But it wasn't just him. I saw throughout spurts of the season, Travis Etienne, who I thought was done before this season, he showed signs of life too occasionally and stuff. And so it's just, I feel like the culture that they established down there in Jacksonville really showed up the second half of the season there. So while the Colts were in decline, they were ascending in that sense. So I thought it was an incredible run there by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Incredible run, and they are an extremely dangerous team. They're a team that if you're in the AFC, nobody really wants to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they're not going to say it out loud because it's the Jaguars, but nobody really wants to face the Jacksonville Jaguars right now because the Jaguars can contend with any team in the AFC. No doubts about it. No doubts about it. Because they are playing excellent football and they're peaking at the right time. Let's see. Mike says you just left Buffalo Wild Wings. Surprised you didn't run in the 80s down there. All right, let's see. RC said, JB, why you think Jaden Blue doesn't play for the Cowboys? Didn't Jaden Blue get an injury early in the season? I feel like during the preseason, and at that point, Javonte Williams ended up securing the #1 spot because I believe that it was supposed to be more of a mixture early on. But aside from that, it probably just comes down to his size and injuries. That's probably the only two reasons. But he's nice for a spurt every once in a while. All right, so a run play here for Ole Miss, and Lacey's gonna lose a yard. I mean, my man had that one big run early on, but since then, the Hurricanes, it's not like he's had a ton of carries either. That's just his 4th carry, I feel like, in this game. But 12 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter play. 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Rebels. Can they find a way to get a first down? I feel like they got to get a couple first downs. If they can get to the 40-yard line, they'll start feeling confident on offense again. Looking, throws it, gets the completion. Receiver fighting for all that he could. Let's see what the referee marks him out at. It's going to be 3rd and short, but just how short? I'm waiting for a measurement. They're going to say 3rd and 1. Let's see. Mike says Bills and Panthers soon. He said, how are we doing? And so, hey, JB is doing great. A little tired from work there. Didn't get to take no break before the stream here. But other than that, JB's doing good. And I will be streaming the game tomorrow between Indiana and Oregon. Nice spin there by Lacey to pick up that first down. I thought I was looking at Rico Dotto for a second on that carry. But yeah, JB is doing great. All right, Mike says, how good is the Jaguars? You haven't watched. You say, where will the Bills have trouble? Anyone let me answer that after this one here? All right, to the 40-yard line. And so I'll say this. Trevor Lawrence is seeing the entire field. And I know that sounds simple, but Trevor is really seeing the entire field right now. When the quarterback is actually seeing the field, that means when you're bringing blitzes, he's seeing guys open immediately. He's getting the ball there. His accuracy is there. His timing has improved so much. And then, considering from what I've seen from the Buffalo Bills occasionally this season from just stopping a run, you guys might mess around and let Travis Etienne wake up. And Etienne, I'm not going to say that he's a lock to go out there every game and just, ball out, because that's not the case. But he does have moments to where if you will let him run that ball, then look out. You're going to have yourself trouble all the way throughout. So when I say the Jaguars, it's because these young boys are growing up out there on the field. Whether you're talking about the wide receivers the Jaguars have, they are growing up offensively. And that defense was already capable. And so you add that defense plus the offense, look out. That's where we are. But speaking of looking out, though, Lacey, will he be the one to drive it home here for the Rebels? Start to go out there, run, make some moves there. Got a first down, 9 minutes and 48 seconds left to go here in the 4th quarter of play. Let's see what else says. Yo, shout out to my boy Parker Washington. Hey, he's been balling. He's been balling. All right, picked up a yard there on the play. So 2nd down coming up right now here for the Rebels. And this is exactly what you want right now if you're Ole Miss. You continuously move the ball, get first downs, give your defense a break. They played hard out there, but you keep the ball there, apply the pressure to Miami's defense out there, and let's see what happens. But 2nd and 9 on Miami's side of the football field at their 47-yard line. Shotgun formation, Miami bringing pressure. And so now, Chambliss on the run, looking. Oh, man, that's hard work there to try to get 2 yards on the catch. My man almost broke his spine on that one, bending backwards so much to make that play. But Chambliss was able to get outside the pass rush. And from what I've seen of this Miami's defense, all college football playoffs, they have not allowed a quarterback to really get outside of that pass rush when they bring the pressure. So this tells me that Miami's slowing down just a little bit right now due to fatigue. So if you're Ole Miss, got to get that first down. This would be such a big first down if they can get it. Your kicker's got a leg. Give him a chance at least. 3rd and 9 for the Rebels. Miami brings pressure. Throws it. Gets the completion over the middle. So how about that? Chambliss says, hey, I'm not afraid to take a hit. And Mike says, thanks again for streaming. Thank you for showing up. Let's see, RC says, JB Laney will tell you Trevor Lawrence is one of my favorite quarterbacks out here, but I was growing tired of waiting to see him put it together. And fatigue is so, it's so real. It's so real because sometimes you're really just one season away from a kid developing, whether we're talking about, whether it was Baker Mayfield in his career. Look at Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was bounced around, the Jets, the Panthers. After those two performances, you would have thought he'd been done. But then all of a sudden, he finds a way, gets an opportunity with the Minnesota Vikings, and now with the Seahawks, and it's like, wait a minute, maybe some teams might have gave up too fast. So you never know when that light bulb comes on. You just never know. And let's see, Mike says, Miami going to try to get Harbaugh. And so, whether or not they're able to, that's going to be a question, but they certainly will try. They certainly will try. But I know the Giants also have their eyes on them as well. And it might simply just come down to, my brother's in the AFC, so maybe I might want to go to the NFC. It just comes down to, honestly, how does he feel about Jackson Dart? If he believes in Jackson Dart, you take that Giants job because you got him, you got Malik Neighbors. But if you don't believe in Jackson Dart, then you go to Miami, but you got to figure out that quarterback situation. Because if you couldn't get it done with Lamar Jackson, you're not going to get it done with Tua, Quinn Ewers. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But man, so now they're going to review a targeting call right now. So they're reviewing the targeting call right now. That's huge. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen a targeting call there. But this is terrible timing to have that show up. And Mario Cristobal, he is hot right now. Wow. Can we all just take a second in appreciation for the game that we've got right now? It's bittersweet because loser, their season's done. And obviously, the winner goes to the championship game. But man, to know that college football season is almost at its very end. But yeah, going to eject him out the game. Oh, yeah. And that's when that frustration really kicks in. So right now, Miami's got to do their best to keep their composure and next man step up. But 1st and 10 right now for Ole Miss. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen here. Shotgun formation at the 21-yard line of the Hurricanes. They're going to run the ball. And Lacey's going to pick up about a good 5 yards. Oh, wait a minute. Another flag. What is going on? Another penalty. Let's see. RC says, huge 39. Convert. Mike says, that kid quarterback on Miss, you say he will have a career. You like his game. Laney says she loves Trevor Lawrence. A personal foul. Come on now. We don't want to see the game decided by all these penalties. You got targeting. But Big 11 can't do that, though. That's a big dude. That's a big dude. You coming in throwing your body around like that, but man, come on, they got to keep their composure right now. Y'all fought all season long to get to this point. Man, look at the look on Michael Irvin's face right now. He is concerned. All right, but you got a 1st and goal right now for the Rebels. Let's see what they call with 8:05 to go here in the 4th quarter of play. They snap the ball out of the shotgun. Runs the ball. Lacey. He's getting turned around and stuff. But picking up yards, that's what, 4 yards on a carry? 2nd and goal coming up. 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the 4th quarter of play. Miami has played tremendous in this game, but mistakes. If they end up losing this game, it's because of mistakes. Missed opportunities. They had 4 chances to pick off Ole Miss quarterback 4 times, and they simply dropped the ball. They've had countless amount of penalties, whether it was on the offensive line, and now these personal fouls that are showing up right now at the worst possible time there is. This was a game where in the first half, honestly, they outplayed Ole Miss. But you let a team hang around. And Ole Miss is a team that they can, in the 4th quarter, they can do some work. I've seen them do it. They can do some work. So it's still 17-16 right now, but whew, man, Look at here. But we're at the commercial right now, so we're not missing anything. So JB is going to go ahead and go through some of the comments now. Let's see. RC says, let's see, do you see an upward trajectory or downward spiral for the future quarterback career of JJ McCarthy? Ooh. In all honesty, to keep it a buck, I wasn't too high on JJ coming out of college. I really wasn't. The handoff merchant, as I call him, I feel like he was good off the play fake because down there at Michigan, they'd have like 6, 7 linemen, so everybody would creep up and then he'd be able to hit the play. But if you can't get the ball to your guy like Justin Jefferson, you might have some problems because it don't get no better than that. You're not going to end up on a team with a better situation at wide receiver than having him, having Addison, having Hawkinson at tight end, and the back you have in the backfield. If you can't make it work with them, I don't know what else you need. I don't know what else you need. Other young quarterbacks, it might be, oh, they don't have, the weapons. We don't know. Like a guy like Cam Ward, we don't know because he doesn't have any weapons to work with. But JJ McCarthy, aside from that, the injuries is going to be what messes JJ McCarthy up. He seems to be injury prone. And when you're going to be average, throughout your NFL career and deal with injuries, you're going to end up holding that clipboard not too long from now. So for me, it's all make or break next year, but if I had to project with what little information I have now, I'm going to say this is going to lead to a downward spiral, and I will not co-sign on JJ McCarthy being that guy. And so he'll have spurts. He'll have some games where it's like, oh, man, look at that. Fourth quarter, 2 touchdowns. But that's about it. But again, we're still at the commercial right now. As you actually said, Laney, me too. You say LOL CJB. Whenever I say Trevor Lawrence, you say Laney pops up like Candyman the movie. You say like Candyman in the mirror 5 times. Oh, man. As he says, does the wife like Olive Garden restaurant? Yes. That would be a yes. As he said, JB, these refs are all in our face like we came to see them. Do they stuff? They honestly believe that, I bet. I bet they honestly believe that. All right, so we got a 2nd and goal coming up here in the 4th quarter, 7 minutes and 54 seconds to go. A 1-point game right now with the Hurricanes up 17-16. But Ole Miss right now, an opportunity to try to get a touchdown. If they get a touchdown, don't be surprised if they try to go for 2. So I said this 4th quarter is sinking in quick stands slowly. You say ref stoppage, penalties, injuries. Let's see. All right, so 2nd and goal. The Hurricanes have not trailed, they say, in the college football playoffs. Will that change now? And so quarterback kept it himself and picked up maybe a yard. That's it. Hurricanes, they closed out one fast. They've got too much speed to get beat to the edge like that. So said, JB, over here slapping my knee, laughing and cracking up. You say, not JJ McCarthy, aka the Golden Child handoff man. And so, hey, the handoff merchant. That's what he does. That's what he does. Simon says, you like Olive Garden too? Bet. All right, 3rd and goal. Important 3rd down here for both teams. 3rd and goal. All right, snaps the ball. Looking. Throws it. Oh, incomplete. So now, 4th down coming up. You know your kicker can make it. You want to go for it, but that's not the right call. The right call right now is to go ahead, kick the field goal, take the lead. That is the right call right now because you risk it. Something tells me this defense will stop you. This is one of those times where I'm like, don't be a Dan Campbell. Just go out there and take the 3 points. As he said, JB, you must rank these restaurants in order from first to worst. You say Subway, Taco Bell, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. From first to worst. I might have to take a minute. And think about that one. But Ole Miss kicks the field goal, and Ole Miss has the lead now 19-17 with 7 minutes left to go. The Rebels up by 2. Oh, man, Eli Manning is over there sweating. Oh, man, I almost forgot Eli went to that college there. Almost flipped JB from rooting for them, but I'm going to let that one slide. Let's see. Kenneth says, does the wife like Longhorns? House or Texas Roadhouse? And so I've still got to take her. to experience both and see whether or not she likes both of those there. So I will certainly be making that a point to do sometime over the next month or two. Absolutely. But let's see. All right. So for JB's personal taste buds there, I will say I got Wendy's first. Aside from Wendy's, I do get a good share of Chick-fil-A. I do get a good share of Chick-fil-A. I really don't get Taco Bell that much. And Subway's got to be last for me. So that's my order there. I just really don't order Taco Bell all that much. So that's why it's third on my list. All right, let's see. Mike says Taco Bell's best. You say Wendy's, then Subway's, and Chick-fil-A. All right, let's see. He says, I'll give my answer too. You say Wendy's, fresh real burgers, good fries. Okay. You say Chick-fil-A, not bad, good sauce. Okay, okay. So right now we're okay. You say Taco Bell is just okay now. And then Subway not the same. All right, RC, so you see it the same way as JB does. Okay, we basically got the same list. Okay, okay. I do feel like there's been a bit of a drop off there from Subway, though. I do feel like that. He said, does the wife like Applebee's? And so that is another place that JB needs to take her to Applebee's. Because I really did not have an Applebee's like that I could recall when I was in Texas. So that's going to be certainly one of the things that I do. Take her to, let's see, RC says, JB, we got the same darn list. We do. We do. They say great minds think alike. So right now, the Miami Hurricanes have not scored since halftime. So as much as I've been raving about how they've been moving the ball here, Ole Miss defense is showing up when it matters the most. But can they continue? What a game we've got so far in this one. 7 minutes left to go. Rebels up 19-17. They kick the ball off. No return. And Carson Beck. He's got to be feeling like he's playing in my player mode right now, in that this is all on his shoulders. In which, hey, you got a solid run game to keep running it, but ultimately they know that their goals is going to come down to this offense being able to go down there and drive and score. Let's see, RC says, Chick-fil-A just charged too much. You can get chicken for less from KFC and Popeyes. They need to stop restricting the size of my Oreo shakes I like to get. They need to stop restricting the size. Go back to giving me the large. All right, 1st and 10 for Beck. Beck going deep. Floats a rainbow up there, and that's going to draw pass interference there. That's going to draw pass interference. Caught him napping. Caught him napping. Wow. Let's see, RC said, JB, at some point, someone is going to have to go for a 2-point conversion. Oh, wait a minute here. All right, so here we go after the penalty there. So from their own 40-yard line, 3 receivers top of the screen here in the fourth quarter, 6 minutes and 52 seconds to go. Quick pass, caught by the receiver, and the receiver is going to pick up 8 yards there. These receivers do a good job of getting the yak on every play, but now you got 2nd down coming up. If you're the Miami Hurricanes, you're thinking touchdown because the last thing you want is for it to come down into the foot of your field goal kicker. You just don't want it to come down to that route if you can avoid it. 2nd and 2. Run play. Bouncing to the outside. Mark Fletcher Jr. steps out of bounds there, but he wasn't going willingly that time. So Hurricanes busting off big plays here. They understand the urgency of this drive. All right, 6:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Again, Rebels up 19-17, but Hurricanes on the move once again. Ball at the 35-yard line of the Rebels. Shotgun formation here, 1st and 10. Snaps the ball. So run play. Oh, he fell down on it. This is the 2nd time today he has just fallen down on himself. Let's see, RC said, you got Miami, right? And so I'm over here hoping that Ole Miss finds a way, RC. I'm over here hoping that Ole Miss finds a way. Otherwise, I'll have to hear it from Mr. JB up until the championship game. All right, 2nd and 11 right now. 4th quarter, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Ole Miss up 19-17. Tooney goes in motion. Quick pass, throws it to him again. How many times do they have to see this play happen before they know that it's going to happen? And just like that, Miami scores a touchdown. Just like that. 23-19. And I mean, we've seen this play routinely, but nobody knows how to stop it because they're trying to ask a lineman to be able to make that play while everybody else is blocked, and he's got too much speed for that. He's got too much speed for that. That is their calling card play right there. Just 4 plays, 75 yards, and they were gashing this defense. I mean gashing them. Extra point is good. So the score right now, Miami 24, Rebels 19. So with 5:04, field goal's not going to cut it. Ole Miss is going to have to find a way to drive down there and find a way to get into the end zone somehow, some way. Let's see. RC says he kicks it from the 1. You say clank, boink. And so, oh man, that would be heartbreaking there. Let's see. RC says that boy Tooney bad. You say score. And so he did. He did. But yeah, there's plenty of time. 5:04 left to go. Let's see how many points have been scored so far. All right, let's see. RC says, JB, we got to start calling Tooney Mr. Yak. We might just have to, in all honesty. We might just have to. I wonder how many more points do we need for Lewis to hit the over? But again, 24-19, that's the score. We like late game heroics. Let's see what happens here. Let's see, Mike says, update the UFL rosters formerly known as Brahmas, Panthers, and Showboats have been allocated for as following per league source. So Michigan, Columbus, Memphis, Louisville, San Antonio, let's see, Orlando. All right, so we go for the Rebels here. Again, 5:04, plenty of time. Just got to find a way to get into that end zone. They're on 25. Looking. Throws one. Gets the completion. And what a completion that was. Big play for the Rebels. That's what you needed to see there, first pass play. And if he has time like that, look out. And another injury right now for the Hurricanes. But these injuries are starting to really stack up. RC says, JB, I'm going to keep the same profile picture, Lego, you say logo, lettering, you say PF, cool water switch 227, but I'm going to swap out Caitlin Clark and Addison Deal faces for different players. Okay. Okay. It's a run play this time, and Lacey's going to pick up about 2 yards there, thanks to the second effort. Mike says, tomorrow is their player allocation roster shift day. The assemble rosters. Okay, well, you got to definitely update us that one tomorrow on the live for sure, because I'll be interested. You know, I thought about the UFL earlier today. I was thinking about that. I was like, man, you know, wonder what the rosters are going to look like. All right, 2nd and 8. Throws one up there and oh, incomplete. Incomplete. I thought he was about to do it, but he didn't. So now you got 3rd down coming up here. 3rd and 8, and you certainly don't want it to be 4th down here if you're Ole Miss. You don't want to have to ask your defense to make a play when you're already down right now. So you have got to find a way to dig deep and get this 1st down. All right, 3rd and 8. Shotgun formation here for Ole Miss. 4 receivers on the play, 1 running back. Snaps the ball, but they're going to stop him. All right, so the Hurricanes call a timeout right now. I want to be able to discuss this on defense. Let's see. RC says, JB, see what I'm saying though, bro? You say, bro, if Ole Miss score, they would need to go for a 2-point conversion, and so they would. They would. Let's see. RC said, wait a second thought. On second thought, never mind. Because they're down 5 points right now. They're down 5, and so if they scored a touchdown, that would be 6. In which they would be up by 1 point, so they would have to actually kick the extra. Go for two to make it a 3-point game. So yeah, you was right. You got JB over here doubting himself now. Kenneth said, where are they at with the ball? So yeah, so right now they're currently at the Ole Miss, 48-yard line, facing the 3rd and 8. So yeah, almost midfield from their own 48-yard line. They need 8 yards for the 1st. Receiver Lee goes in motion, throws it. Oh, it's going to be incomplete, but there's a flag. There is a flag. Oh my goodness, that's going to crush the Canes right there. That is you had to stop. I thought it was good coverage, maybe a little something, but mostly good coverage. But they called pass interference there against the Hurricanes, and Mario Cristobal's about to bust a vein right now. All right, let's see the replay here. I mean, you see DBs do it all the time, but I guess. Let's see, RC says 25 for a touchdown. They need to go for 2-point conversion. Mike says only coaches from last year is Battlehawks Anthony Betch, and now coach of Orlando. 1st and 10. Feels the rush, on the move, running, still running, goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. So it finally happens where he breaks containment and he's able to pick up a chunk of yards right there. And just out of Miami's reach, wow, what a play. 3 minutes and 52 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. So run play, going to pick up about 3 yards there on the carry. Mike says, they good coach from the DC Defenders. Samuel says, hey, JB for RC, I brought the cheapest tractor at Walmart. Okay. That's nice. RC probably got about 20 tractors in his backyard. 2nd and 8. Rebels. Throws one. Has the receiver for a touchdown. Touchdown. Ole Miss. Oh, my word. And just like that, a 24-yard receiving touchdown by Daquan White. Wow. RC said, where the hey, all the flags coming from? He said, JB, they're trying to make sure we get a photo finish at all costs. Mike says, come on, Miami. RC says, somebody's selling. I ain't saying no names, but just know they got stripes on their shirts. You said more than enough, but wow. Now they got to go for 2. Got to go for the 2-point play here, and they must convert. We might have a chance at some JBOT, guys. If you want to see some overtime, put JBOT in the chat. 2-point conversion. Looking. Throws it. And he's got it. Oh, my goodness. The 2-point conversion is good, and Ole Miss is up by 3 points with just over 3 minutes to go. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. RC says the defense have both went nighty night. And so Mike says JB are incoming OT. JB OT. Man. Wow. Let's see. Mike says he wants to see OT. Kenneth says he wants some JB OT. Oh man, I feel like we have been overdue for a little JB OT, but man, for it to come in the final four round of the college football playoffs, man, that's wild. But look at that. To think how close Miami was to just sealing this game, if not for that pass interference call. And then once that happened, quarterback just broke containment enough. And that's hard to do because I've seen some great runners try to run on this defense, and they were not having it. All right, kickoff. So down 3 points. Carson Beck. Can he come through for the Miami Hurricanes? It's on his shoulders. Plenty of time, though. With 2 timeouts, all you need is a field goal. But do you trust your field goal kicker? That's a whole different question. RC said, now, ain't that some shit? Let's see. Samuel says, make OT. And so, hey, if it goes to OT, but in order for that to happen, that means Miami's got to kick a field goal. And with their field goal kicker, that's not a lock. That is not a lock that he'll make it. Let's see. RC says, okay, per directions followed. JB7 OT in the chat. Beck throws it up there, incomplete. Underthrew his guy. And he knows he wants that one back. He underthrew the DB. 2nd down and 10 coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. Yeah, that's a throw. You just can't miss throws like that. Everybody's watching. Scouts everywhere are watching. That's a pass you got to hit on the money. You make that pass on the money, he's got some space. All right, 2nd and 10 right now. Beck throws it. And that's going to be completed on the sideline there. Picked up about 8 yards on the play. Now we got a 3rd down coming up here, 3rd and short, with 3:04 to go here in the 4th quarter of play. Let's see, RC said, Miami, if they are smart, they will not be conservative and tentative here, you say, and just play for the field goal only. Yeah, I mean, I know that they want to go for the touchdown. They hand the ball off here, and Mark Fletcher Jr. gets the 1st down. All right, Kenneth says, where is Miami right now? So as of right now, Kenneth, the Miami Hurricanes, after picking up that 1st down, they are currently right now from their own 37-yard line. So at their own 37-yard line, 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. Beck throws it up there. Incomplete, incomplete. I thought for a second the tight end was going to catch that, but that's incomplete. Would have been a big time catch. Would have been a huge catch for them. 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, the score right now, Ole Miss up by 3 points, 27-24. And nice pass break up there to prevent the tight end from coming down with that one. And again, Big 87, he had an opportunity. But 2nd and 10 from their own 37-yard line. The Miami Hurricanes line up in a shotgun formation here. 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back. They snap the ball. Ole Miss sends 4. Throws it short, and oh, he's going to be tackled immediately. But Brown says, no, I'm going to take you for a ride. Brown is moving people, man. He is moving people. But 3rd down coming up right now. We got about 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter of play. And Miami is facing 3rd down. Do not be surprised if Carson Beck tries to take off and run on this play. Do not be surprised. Let's see, RC says, you have got to haul that bad boy in. Or that's one you got to have. But we are now at the 2-minute mark. So 2-minute mark right now. And everything's on the line right now for both teams, man. What a game. Ole Miss leading 27-24 in the college football semifinals. And what's going to happen these last 2 minutes? Oh, man, if you're Miami right now, you really would love to score a touchdown. You don't want it to come down to a field goal attempt, especially a far field goal attempt. If it's like beyond 40 yards, you're definitely going to be nervous and stuff. But if you're Ole Miss and you can go out there and make a play right now, oh man, look out. Let's see. RC said, JB, I wasn't even going to sit down and watch this one. I'm actually glad I did. And so, hey, that's the exciting part about the college football playoffs here, especially once we get to this level of it. Just seeing it back and forth here. Two teams coming in with a lot of momentum here. But right now, can Carson Beck be the deciding factor? You know, can he do it? Seth, what's good? Seth says my Hurricanes are playing bad on offense right now. And so, oh man, Seth, there's just so I can go into so many things about what has went wrong for the Hurricanes. I can say the penalties against the Hurricanes. I could say the 4 dropped interceptions on defense definitely did not help at all. You know, mistakes, moving the ball, and then just, you know, having to settle for field goals, miss field goals, and not being able to capitalize when you guys are moving the ball pretty much, especially in that first half. But to say this and to say that, down by 3 points, but you still have everything in front of you. If Carson Beck can just elevate this team, you know, look out. Sky's the limit. RC said, the irony is I told you to do this game and I wasn't going to show up. Now, RC, that just ain't right. That just ain't right. But just a reminder that, yes, JB will also be live streaming tomorrow's game. Indiana versus Oregon. No way we can miss that one. They had to stream that one as well. So, but man, this game is already great. So I'd like to see how they would try to top that game tomorrow. But man, this one right here is going to have a photo finish. But will we potentially get overtime here? That would be insane. Now, RC says kick a 62-yarder for the win. All right, so right now, 3rd and 8 here for the Miami Hurricanes. Got to know where Tooney is at all times. Looking. Throws it up there. And that's going to be incomplete, but they're going to call a flag. They're going to call a flag. Oh, man. And right now, if you're Ole Miss, you're seething right now. Let's see. Seth says getting a new iPhone 17 in February. Can't wait. And so, hey, that's what's up. We all got to get like Seth. We all got to get like Seth. But man, first down. Big mistake there by Ole Miss there, Braxton. All you had to do. I mean, he would have caught that if not for that. So he would have made that catch if not for that. So that's a good penalty there. That's a good penalty. He'd have made the catch. See, Mike says JBOT on 3-on-3 break. Seth says, yes, let's go. All right, so with a fresh new set of downs to work with here for the Miami Hurricanes here. 1st and 10, $1:55 left to go in this one. Quick pass, caught by the receiver. And he's brought down, picks up about a good 4 yards there on the play. And again, Miami loves to run those plays there. And can you blame them? Those linemen, they get downfield and they block. If your lineman can move like that, I say do it too. All right, so here we go. Ball at about the 42-yard line of Ole Miss. Shotgun formation here for the Miami Hurricanes on 2nd and 6. Carson Beck in the pocket. Carson Beck moving around. Carson Beck still looking. Carson throws it near the sideline, and that's going to be incomplete. Or will they say he caught it? They say he caught it. They say he caught it. I thought he was picked up and thrown out, but let's see. But they say he caught that. How did he make that catch? I guess I'll never know. Okay, so I wasn't tripping. That should have been out of... Well, let's see. Did the back of his heel hit the floor? I'm pretty sure it did. They're going to want to take a look at this one. They will want to take a look at this one. Yeah, that's out. That's out. That is out. Let's see. Mike says, time remaining. You said you're 3 seconds ahead. Let me see. Right now... Since they're looking at the replay here, I got to look at the how much time is left once they show me on the screen again. All right, so we got about 1:25 left to go. I see they added 1 more second, so it's 1:26 left to go. So they're reviewing this one right now. Again, it was called a completion, so they have to see enough evidence to clearly say that he didn't make that catch. And again, you just need 1 foot. Now, Seth says that looks like a catch to him. Let's see, Mike says, great one, have attempted though. Let's see, Mike says a few seconds. Seth says, by the looks of it, he looks out. And so, yep, call is overturned. Because when he came down that foot, the back of his heel touched out of bounds. And so that is incomplete. But one thing I've seen about this Miami team, they do know how to get some third down conversions. So 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Miami Hurricanes. And I'm sure they're going to draw up something here to get that first. Mike says clearly out. Kenneth says no catch. Let's see, Mike says number 10. Who is he? Great game. And so, yeah, his last name is Tooney. I'm trying to think what is his first name. But he would be a tremendous addition to your Buffalo Bills, Mike. That would solve a lot of your problems. All right, but 3rd and 6 right now at the 42-yard line of Ole Miss. Throws the ball, gets the completion, gets the first down. So again, they converted there. Got 1 minute and 20 seconds left to work with here. Excellent job there by the wide receiver. I believe that he got the first down already off of forward progress, but then he reached out there and extended it for the first. All right, so here we go from about the 35-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Miami Hurricanes with 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go for the Hurricanes. Carson Beck in the pocket, throws this one incomplete off the receiver hands there on the sideline. 2nd and 10 coming up here for Miami Hurricanes, who trail right now 27-24 with 1 minute 6 left to go. Seth says this looks like a good game too. Oh, it's a great game, Seth. Great game. That's why we want to get overtime. We want to get some JBOT. Mike says we don't need running back. Is he a receiver? He's a receiver. He's a receiver. They just use him a lot of different ways, but he's a wide receiver. All right, 2nd and 10. Yeah, as you can see, he's lined up in the slot at the top of the screen. Carson Beck out of the shotgun, moving around, throws this one incomplete. Incomplete. So you got 3rd down coming up once again. Miami has been superb on 3rd downs for the most part in this game. So on 3rd and 10, even if they don't get the first down here, something tells me they'll find a way to at least get about 8, 9 of those yards to make it worth going for it if they choose to in the 4th. Now, I need a real Miami Hurricanes fan to tell me in the chat here, just how confident are you guys right now with your field goal kicker if it came down to him having to kick from about where they are right now? Mike says, if so, let's get him. All right, 3rd and 10 right now. Ball at about the 35-yard line of the Rebels. Beck throws over the middle, gets the completion. Big time completion to about the 18-yard line. That was a big time conversion. Now there's 54 seconds left on the clock now. So at this point there, if you're Miami, obviously you're thinking about the win here. You're thinking about touchdown, 50 seconds here. There's no need for them to think too much about the time because they do got 2 timeouts to work with also. So you've got some opportunities if you're Miami. Carson Beck's going to keep it, and he's going to fall to the floor there. Ran into the back of his own lineman there. And so that's going to lose a yard there. If you're Ole Miss, you are thankful for that. RT says, Captain JB, this game lit. Let's see. RT says, Beck with his interception vibes got me nervous, and I'm not even a fan of the U. All right, let's go. Seth says they need to stop the clock a bit and get closer to the red zone. All right, here we go. And again, every time that Miami's been in a pressure situation, they have found a way to come up with an answer in this college football playoffs. This game is pretty much for the most part been the same as well. When they really needed to score or get a first down, they find a way. But now 2nd and 11 coming up here. Let's see, Mike says, Miami Ruben Bain supposed to be the next Von Miller. Has he been good? Hey, the kid is good. He's definitely generated pressure, especially in that first half there. Haven't too much seen him as of late as Ole Miss offensive line has been much better. But Mike's like, hey, he wants to see Ruben out there. And you said the kicker missed one earlier. Yeah, seeing that one. Let's see, 2nd and 11 right now for the Buffalo Bills for the 19-yard line. Pump fakes. Back looking, throws it, gets the completion to a receiver. That should be a first down. But let's see what the referee marks it at. If not, then it's basically right down the line. But I think it's a first down. It's first down, 1st and goal. So now if you're Miami, you're wanting to score a touchdown and leave Ole Miss with absolutely no time. But right now, your first concern is to score a touchdown. Seth says, if Miami scores, this game may be over. And so, yeah, considering just 31 seconds, Ole Miss with one timeout. So if Miami gets in that end zone, that's a wrap. Because even so, if Miami scores a touchdown, that's 7 points, so a field goal will not be able to tie it unless Miami were to somehow miss the extra point. But a field goal would not be able to tie it in that scenario. So if you're Ole Miss, you really cannot afford to let Miami get to that end zone. And if you're Miami, end zone equals, that's game. Let's see, RC said, JB, should they go for the win? What you think? Oh, definitely. If you're Miami, you still got plenty of time. With 31 seconds and 2 timeouts, you go for the W. You go for that W. You don't want to put this one in the foot of your kicker. That's what she said. Miami scores now, Steph and JB. It is over. Let's see. They run the ball here, and all right, so Brown, nice pickup on the play. It's going to be 2nd down coming up. 23 seconds left. So right now, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you have to rely on your defense to get you some stops and bring out the field goal unit. And if you're in Miami, a touchdown, hey, touchdown's going to do it, barring something crazy. A touchdown's going to do it. 24 seconds. And right now for Ole Miss, Miami, both teams have fought hard. Regardless how this game plays out, both of these teams have played extremely hard. Oh man, this is nerve-wracking for both of these squads. Let's see. RC says, unless JB is coming out to quarterback for the Rebels, it's over. There's nothing JB can do. Nothing at all. They're going to need Devin Hester to go out there and return a kick or something. That's their best bet. All right, 2nd and goal. 24 seconds remaining on the clock right now. And so Laney says, great stream, JB. Thanks for streaming it. And so I appreciate that. Thank you for coming through. And so, yeah, JB over here sweating and stuff. All right, 2nd and goal for the Hurricanes. They just need 3 yards to get into the end zone. Carson Beck looking. Carson Beck moving around. Carson Beck has nothing but green grass in front of him. And the Miami Hurricanes have scored a touchdown. And that's all she wrote. With just 18 seconds left, 1 timeout, Ole Miss knows that they let an opportunity slip off that board. There's going to be a lot of tickets fought right now to get to Louisiana after this game here, because a lot of these coaches will be gone. But man, that's a heartbreaker. Heartbreaker right there. 15 plays, 75 yards, 2 minutes and 55 seconds to turn time possession off the clock. Wow. All right, she said, why do I feel like Miami head coach trying to play this ish safe, JB? You said they better pray if they do, they don't miss the field goal chip shot. Chef says, what a touchdown. Let's go. So Seth is fired up. Seth is about to go get his ticket for the national championship game, as will many Miami Hurricane fans, because their team is just about to head there. We just got to run out the rest of the clock there and then book it. Mike says the Hurricanes are going to the dance. And tomorrow we'll find out who that dance partner will be. Will it be Oregon or will it be Indiana? But how about that? Think about what this means to the fan base of the Miami Hurricanes. Just how long have you guys had to wait for an opportunity to be in this game? So Mario Cristobal is like, he's like, we are not done yet. Oh, man. Let's see, RC said, They let that man walk into the end zone like he was on a beach alone in the evening, JB. And so, yeah, I saw him. I saw him. I saw him. And Mr. JB says, thank you, Jesus. So Mr. JB is happy. Oh, man. 18 seconds left here before this one is officially done. Man, but you think about all that that's meant for Ole Miss. You know, you fought so hard, and the fact that it's 4 points. If it was 3 points, then maybe you might can think about some type of field goal. But 4 points, you're gonna have to try to return this one. But instead, he opts not to return it. Feel like that's a mistake there. You go ahead and give yourself an opportunity. Let's see. RC says JB Beck could have ate a quarter pounder on the way into the end zone as unbothered and as open as he was. It's not a bad idea. Kenneth says Hurricanes is not going dancing. Just watch. Ole Miss is going to win. So Kenneth is standing on business and standing on faith. He says that Ole Miss is going to find a way with 18 seconds to score. Now they got one timeout. Let's see. Throws this one. Gets the completion there. Got to hurry up. Got to clock it. Okay. Got to clock it. Will we see some Doug Flutie type of stuff in this one? But you still got to clock it. Got to clock it. All right. With 11 seconds there. So if you can get another 15, 20 yards, you got one timeout. Then you give yourself a chance to make a play into the end zone. And so just saying a chance. But that would be the most heartbreaking thing in the world if Ole Miss did pull that off. If he says last chance for Ole Miss, 2nd and 10. Looking, throws this one, gets the completion. All right, so about the 34-yard line. But they cannot go for a field goal. They've got to go for the end zone there. But at least you give yourself a chance to heave one up there into the end zone. You just never know. Mike says, time for the Hail Mary? You bet your bottom dollar it is. Let's see. RC said, get out of prevent defense, Miami. And so, 5 seconds left. So, if you're Ole Miss, you're hoping obviously for a catch in the end zone or at least some type of pass interference or something to essentially help. But that would be heartbreaking if that were to happen. Hurricane fans don't even want to entertain that thought right there. They had an extra second on the clock there, so 6 seconds to work with. Again, Ole Miss, no timeouts here. So they are going to just heave one up there and do their best to try to make a play happen. If you're Miami, bat it down. You get an opportunity, bat it down. Don't go for the interception and miss and then let some miracle happen. Seth says Ole Miss is out of timeouts. That is correct. But they are within range to where the quarterback should feel comfortable throwing it into the end zone here. And let's see what happens. Can they make this happen? That's the question. All right, timeout call by the Miami Hurricanes. That's their final timeout as well, so no one else will be able to stop the clock once they get back out there. Carson Beck's like, hey, I'm ready for this one to be done. I want to go celebrate. So 6 seconds left. Hurricanes 31, Ole Miss 27. Can they give us something to talk about for the next 20 years with some kind of crazy play? Or will the Hurricanes, who've been waiting about 20 years, finally get to start celebrating? I want the camera to zoom in immediately on Michael Irvin after this play is done. Ole Miss is asking for a miracle, asking for a prayer. A team that watched their own head coach walk out on them right during the college football playoffs. All right, here we go. 1st and 10. Well, that doesn't matter now. From the 35. Looking, throws one up into the end zone. Incomplete. And the Miami Hurricanes will get the W. They want a flag, but it will not happen. 31-27 is the final score. Seth says he wants Canes to go to the championship and he will get his wish. They will go to the national championship, the first team to go ahead and get their tickets to go. So congratulations there, Miami Hurricanes. It's been a minute and you guys are back in it. So how does it feel, Hurricane fans? How does it feel? What a season. What a season. Seth says, yes, sir. Mr. JB says, we're back. And let's see, Mike says, night, y'all. And so, man, what a game. It took us all the way to the end here. But at the end of the day, it is the Miami Hurricanes who have found a way to be victorious in this one. So that is all they wrote there. And so JB's going to go ahead and end the stream here. But just a reminder that, yes, we will be going live tomorrow for Indiana versus Oregon. And that's going to be 7:30. Let's see. Kenneth says, you said, wait, Indiana's going to blow the Hurricanes out. So Kenneth says Indiana's going to get that W tomorrow and they're going to blow out the Hurricanes. So, okay, Kenneth. You say, good night, all my friends. See you on the next stream there. And appreciate you coming through, Kenneth. Good night to you guys. As RC says, JB, fantastic, dazzling call. Appreciate that, RC. Appreciate it. You know, we love games like this. Laney says, good night, JB. Good night to you, Laney. Have a great night. Take care, everybody. JB's going to rest up and get ready for work in the AM. But see you guys tomorrow, Friday night. Take care. And let's see, Samuel says, I'm out. Bye, everyone. Y'all see y'all soon at the next live stream. See you later. Yeah, take care. And yeah, definitely stay safe out there, Samuel. Good night to everyone. JB signing off. Appreciate you guys coming through. It's been real. Again, congratulations to the Miami Hurricanes and all the Hurricane fans for this one.